And realistically, all you missed is a bit of panel rambling.
I wish they
So
could have
you're
heard
fine.
the panel slow descent into madness. It was really quite something, and they were trying to fill time desperately. The game was paused at the start, so you haven't missed anything, which is something, chat. Don't worry about it.
And they're going to go for Fada. They've got the Nightmare into the Bramble Maze and the Skewer, so Team Spirit will lock up First Blood. I like that they wait for Toronto, Tokyo to come over and get that first blood.
Yeah, such a good advantage for the mid lane in the early game. This combo, as you saw just then, Bkop, the Skewer through the Brambles, very, very potent killing potential.
Ooh, Skitter getting touched for a second. He was skewered back. Here it does have Bramble Maze. And it'll be placed down, but the Time Walk evading the maze. Look at that.
Oh, not the maze talk again.
Could you imagine you could just Time Walk right through a maze? Break all maze records? Miposhka was heading down towards bottom, but little TP top. I think they were thinking about maybe going for a kill, but they already got first blood. They'll be fine. Miposhka comes up into the top lane with 2 sentry wards. Okay.
Nice mischief from Yutoro there. Dodges the Scatterblast from the Sapphire. I think this this bot lane should be really good though for Team Spirit. We've seen what Collapse can do yesterday. These guys are on it at the moment.
Yeah, Collapse having a really good tournament, and Spirit, I think that last series has certainly given them a lot of momentum. Whether or not that holds through going to sleep and getting into this next day and going into this series, how much of that momentum will hold, but Collapse is certainly feeling himself recently.
Yeah, I just want to say quickly before we move on to other stuff as well, I love this last pick Ember from Spirit. It allows them to play this really quick playstyle that we've seen. They're going on 3-3. Now Snake
And then
might
they
be in
turn
a bit
it
of
for
trouble.
Snake King. Ooh, misses the Boundless Strike, and that might allow this Snapfire to get away. They still have the Nightmare, though. The control is there. Fairy Fire, Scatter Blast, and yeah. Snake King will survive, has that salve to heal up.
And that's one good thing from this lane that you'll probably see a lot here with the Wolves waking up the Nightmare.
Yeah. And that's one thing that Miposhka has dealt with quite a bit.
Oh, Miposhka gets played
tournament.
Bane against Lycan again. It's so exciting.
One game Ancient Apparition, one game Bane. He's constantly dealing with it. Rocket Barrage coming out from Fada. Mira trying to run away from Skitter as well as Fada on this Dark Will. So get to the high ground. And Fada has Rocket Barrage. Whether or not he's got the movement speed to catch up and get in there. Well, he's got either Homing Missile or the Rocket Barrage. Mira has a Fairy Fire, 1 stick charge.
Shadow Realm's not going to be up in time.
He'll be fine. Ooh. Fairy Fire? Holding it throughout the entire time. Never in doubt.
Ever in doubt, Bkop. Lady stage going pretty well, though, for...
Ooh, Skitter. Skewered back and very problematic for him all of a sudden.
Yeah, he's used the Time Walk already as well, so... Oh, Courier dies. I think that was to Wolves there from 3-3. Up in the top lane,
those Wolves are looking to pull the creep wave as well.
Miposhka missing out on all that regen that was coming out on the Courier. Could be a big deal for that top lane.
Nightmare.
Oh, well played by Miposhka. Stops the wave pool from happening, and now the lane's going to be going all the way back towards the Monkey King again. This is something we saw the other day. I think it was T1 against Spirit, where Miposhka... is dead.
Yeah, I think Miposhka knew he was dead, and he doesn't have that regen from the Courier that was coming out, and he might as well go back. Full health, full mana, TP in, right?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, that cancel pool helps Yutoro's lane so much though on the Monkey King. Ooh.
Bottom lane, Skewer again. Skitter forced the Time Walk. Only a level 1 Time Walk, and they're putting the pressure on pretty much constantly at the moment, and eventually that will start to dwindle down as their mana regen. All they've got right now is, well, Mira's got a Mango.
Fata, this is so good from Fata here. Like, he's just letting Skeeter just free farm under the tower here.
He might end up dead. He goes into the Brambles, Collapse, trying to get this kill.
Yes, stick.
And yeah, he's got that stick to get the mana to have that Skewer ready to go. And
he's got Skewer level 2 on the mag.
And he's gone 1-0-2, and he's going into Arcane Boots first.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. That might have been a reactionary thing just to be able to get the kill there. I'm not sure, but well played all the same. I mean, yeah. Again, though, Skeeter managed to get like free fire under the tower there, which is really good. So.
Ooh, Snake King going down Yatoro with the help there from Miposhka. This is a big kill for them. It all comes from stopping that pull from happening. Yatoro feeling comfortable in that lane, and this combination has been quite strong for Spirit throughout the event.
Do you know how much Invoker 9's played before? Because when I think of 9, I don't necessarily think of Invoker.
Well, a lot of people recently have been thinking about his Coddle mid. I know it's been getting tweeted about a lot as well. And he's played 28 games? Yeah, 28 games on the Invoker Pro, 60% win rate.
Okay. Pretty good going, then.
And his most played hero is Zeus.
His last Invoker game was 2 months ago in TI qualifiers. So he didn't play it throughout the whole of the ESL event. Maybe something that he's not his like go-to, but because he saw how good of an Invoker game it was, he's like, guys, we can't we can't pass up on this hero here. Like the panel was saying with the Void.
Ooh, Skewer again. They've got the root on a Skitter. They were charging up the Shadow Realm Strike, looking to get that kill, but they don't have it as he time walks away, gets a good chunk of that health back. Yeah, again, they're constantly going on this Void.
Yeah, the problem with this combo, though, is that the Bramble Maze doesn't last long enough to, like, stop the damage from Time Walk just healing it back off, right? Where sometimes you have these stuns, I think, like, Burrow Strike's a pretty good example, where it gets to a certain point and he can't Time Walk off the damage anymore. The Skewer Bramble Maze just isn't doing that.
Well, as it gets higher, it should, right? It goes up to 2 seconds and Collapse in trouble. 9 making the rotation. EMP right on Collapse. It'll pop, and so will Collapse's life, as 9 makes the first rotation off mid and gets that kill.
Yeah, and that first rotation is always the most important one, right? Like, you get the earn charges, and now every subsequent rotation you make afterwards is going to be easier because of that little bit of extra damage coming through. You have to assume he's
about the Crossflex Invoker, right? Like how you really need to kind of snowball with kills to get a lot to happen.
Yeah, depending on item build, yeah, I agree. And this Vessel is going to be so good up against the Monkey King as well. Like, even the Mag, this, like, relatively tanky hero.
Tornado through the creeps is 9, trying to farm up as best he can. Like you said, he's going for the Vessel. You've got Void going for Treads. And then 3-3, he's already got that Helm of the Dominator, and he'll be looking most likely for that Helm of the Overlord.
Yeah, you have to assume so. Unless he goes for some, like, weird Orchid build, but I don't know why he would this game.
Would you do that after? Get the Helm of the Overlord and then go Orchid afterwards?
We have seen it this tournament once already, right? But I think the enabling the Void is going to be the key thing this game.
Nightmare, Primal Spring with Boundless Strike, popping that Jingu. Miposhka will get that kill as he uses that Brain Sap for it. Yeah, 3-3 Shapeshifts goes after Miposhka, who doesn't have anything available to him, so no Nightmare, no Brain Sap to survive, and will just get run down here by 3-3.
Yeah, and you can see how little damage that Jingu did against the Lycan as well.
9 Tornado EMP, Toronto Tokyo now out of mana. He did have that wand to pop. Cold Snap doing a lot here, and Snake King's trying to get there so he can't get that double damage to refill the bottle, but they've also got Fada coming in, and he doesn't have any mana to work with, so he'll just end up dead.
Yeah, great rotation
there from Tundra.
Great rotation by the Tundra supports. Understanding, you know, we've talked about this a lot this tournament again, though, that the 6-8 minute runes can be so important. Tundra controlling them really well. Like, they bring their supports over. They didn't get the 8-minute rune, but they do kill the Ember for it. But also at the 6-minute mark, 9 gets the haste rune and makes the rotation bot. So, doing a really good job so far here on Tundra.
Dire's middle tower.
We didn't get a chance to, oh, hang on, bot lane.
Chrono on a 2. Rocket Barrage still going off. They're trying to get the kill here onto the Magnus. They'll bring over 9. Collapse is low. Collapse is dead. The Tornado EMP right onto this Dark Willow, and while this is a problem right now for Mira, as he's just getting chased all the way through the tier 1 tower, and Skitter will grab himself a kill. Good movements continue here for Tundra as they move through bottom and get both heroes.
And 9 is played
and
so well this game.
Stacks.
But 9 has Vessel at 9 minutes, Bkop. This is probably the most farmed Invoker I've ever seen. And again,
find another. Mofarah just getting run down. EMP once more. 9 with another kill. Tornado almost hitting Toronto Tokyo. Sneaking comes over. The double damage was popped. Sleight of fist through. Bramble Maze coming down. That will lock up 9. And they get the kill. They've got the Cursed Crown. They should have the lockdown for this finish. But, ooh, surviving with the 1.
He's still alive.
And just goes down to Toronto Tokyo. They're going to bring Collapse over. Shockwave pulling back the Snapfire. Snake King in trouble. Snake King going down to Toronto Tokyo, who grabs a double kill for himself and 2 kills there in response for Team Spirit.
Yeah, game rescued there almost for Team Spirit. That DD rune, like we mentioned, these actives really causing the big swings in this game. And I don't know if you saw that, they didn't actually denied the Arcane rune top there with the Wolf on 3-3.
Yeah, so denying that Battlefield, denying that Arcane rune on the Ember.
Do you know what? It's the worst thing is the Void when you miss a last hit and do a tower because you accidentally, well, not accidentally, but like you bashed. Oh man, I'm just trying to set up last hits myself, you know?
And then you're the one who's mad at 16%.
Yeah.
Or whatever percentage is at, you know, whatever level you've got.
Yeah, they changed it, didn't they? I can't remember what the bash percentage is now.
12, 16, 20, 24.
It used to go up in 5s.
Collapse, by the way, he's got Arcane Boots, has a Bracer, going into the Blink Dagger next. We've seen him play pretty impressively with these Blink Initiation heroes in the offlane. Obviously, most recently, that Axe, which won them that series. He played so well on that Axe.
Ooh, 9.
Tornado comes in, that's going to catch Yatoro. They're going to go to the Mortimer's Kisses right onto the Monkey King. Time walk in, and they've got an easy kill here onto the Monkey King, thanks to the help of 9 and Snake King. Skitter comes in, but doesn't grab a last hit.
Yeah,
Mortimer's Kisses right down to the Monkey King.
3-3 mid lane just takes the tower. So, I mean, that's such a... That's probably the worst case scenario for Spirit there in the last minute or so. Because they were trying to push this bot tier 1 and 3-3 realised that instead of defending or pushing the top tier 1, the best thing you can do is just run up mid tier 1 instead. And they have to commit to one or the other. And Spirit kind of leave this Monkey King to his own devices in bot lane, gets punished.
Team Spirit are coming bottom, but I feel like they need to be careful. Chronosphere is available, and the combination with the Invoker as well as Snake King, who doesn't have the Mortimer's Kisses right now, but can certainly help out. Could be dangerous. Toronto Tokyo, we spotted Sleight of Fist and the Remnant away, breaking the smoke of Tundra, who are going towards mid, who might have caught Yatoro once again.
Yeah, this Willow, by the way, not level 6 yet, 12 minutes into the game. That's a big problem.
Oh, yeah.
Like where you normally have that big combo with the RP into the Terrorize, it's just not available right now. And I think Mofarah took the time to get his level 6, but Mira's really suffering for it.
And we talked about it with Fada, where he didn't get level 6 until like minute 15, but he was in a 5 position. Mira's in a 4 spot, getting a little bit more priority than Mofarah.
And the thing is as well, like Abaddon's not an XP like needed hero, right? Like everything you get is kind of just a bonus, but Willow really needs that level 6. And we've seen Mira play Willow this tournament and do really well. So the fact they're not able to enable this hero at all.
He's in trouble. Goes into the Shadow Realm, throws the Cursed Crown as well as the Bramble Maze. He's trying to survive as best he can, but again, he does not have that level 6. He can't throw a Terrorize or go to a Bedlam shot here. But yeah, 9's going to come around and get that kill and grab himself another charge on that Spirit Vessel. He's going Spirit Vessel back into the Midas, which is something that we've talked about before, where we've seen Invokers kind of miss the Midas and be in trouble. That's a skewer back into the Fiend's Grip. Well done by Collapse. That's showing off the Blink Dagger. However, he's still going to die to the Mortimer's Kisses.
I mean, 9's so tanky because of the start of the game that he's had. Like, with this Vessel, obviously having the Vit booster for the raw HP. They have to commit so much to kill him. I mean, good reaction from Tundra. They were in, like, the neighborhood already, right? So they could react relatively quickly.
Yeah, they reacted very fast to get a kill in return. Like that, I think Collapse, he shows off that blink. He really wants to get the ball rolling. He's going 4 staff next.
Yeah, the Force going to be really good this game. Against like Gyro and stuff, and the Invoker with the Tornado. We've talked about this before. When you have these like stuns into the Invoker combos with the like Cataclysm and the Sunstrike and things, 4 staff's so valuable.
Toronto Tokyo in on Snake King, but they're going to throw the tornado over on a Maposhka. They've got themselves the Helm of the Overlord and Lycan chasing, trying to take out this Bane. Spirit Vessel's on him. He's dead on his screen already. They'll get the kill onto the Bane, throw the Sunstrike out. That's not going to land on a collapse, but Mira, he's in a little bit far, getting the kill on Afada. Does he survive out of this? Throws the Terrorize, walks away, and he will, in fact, survive. But Tundra, again, moving as this one unit through mid, and really disrupting anything that Spirit have going their way. And right now, I will say it's not much. They're farming, and Tundra, well, they're getting kills, and now they're going to move for the objective of Roche as the map is open for them.
And the thing is as well, Team Spirit, they've been the ones setting the tempo in the last couple of days.
They have? Blink RP. They're going to try and get in on this. They'll use the smoke. I don't know if it's going to be quick enough. It's quite low. Snake King in the perfect position. Now they go to the shapeshift. They're going to look over at Toronto Tokyo. The Sleight of Fist and the Searing Chase comes out of the Lycan, but they're going to finish off Roche. Get themselves the Aegis, and oh, he's on the cliff. Toronto Tokyo. He's in a bad spot here on the cliff like a ward, and he'll be de-warded by Fada. Sunstrike in on the Maposhka. He turns around. He's going to be dead as well. 3-3 now on a killing spree. Tundra, they get themselves the Aegis into the hands of Skitter, and they get 2 kills for all their troubles as well.
I mean, this Lycan, we've seen it a few times now. If it's in a situation where you don't contest its farm for the first 15 minutes of the game, it just takes over the game. Like, it took that mid-tier 1 tower before, it enables them to take the Roche. Because it's not just about the damage that output the hero can offer with the, like in these team fights and things with the helm creep and whatever. But like you saw, they just take Roche so quickly. And the lineup for Roche isn't even that good. Like, it's okay. Snake King has a mech as well, so this 5-man timing from Tundra is going to be really strong here. I think the mech advantage is so underrated on these supports if you can get it early.
We've also talked about the fact that the support farm has been such a difference for these teams. We see it a lot on LGD where both their supports somehow find farm around the map, and they become, like you said, have that mech, have that item advantage, and we see it right here. Both supports on the side of Tundra are ahead of the supports on Spirit by a significant margin.
I mean, the fact Mira didn't get level 6 until like 14 minutes is... You can't let that happen.
Double damage available on Skitter. He's going to go in with the Time Walk as well as the Chronosphere on Yatoro. They don't even have a chance to save this Monkey King. He really was dead the second the Chrono came around him. They'll find themselves Mira, Spirit Vessel on him, Bramble Maze. Skitter was doing an alright job of navigating it. Fire Snap Cookie, which leads Skitter to land right on top of Mira, will help him get the kill, and they're going to go to the tier 2 tower up towards top. Tundra just immense pressure that Spirit can't really react to.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're not going to glyph on the Radiant side, so letting their creeps die top lane, but I honestly don't think it matters. If you just put, they keep the catapult alive, and that's the most important thing.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Toronto Tokyo trying to push out bottom everything he's got for the moment.
Yeah, they can't fight right now. Like, they need to dodge, especially while the Aegis is up on the Void. Which is such a good position for Tundra to be in, because honestly, like, if you look at the 2 lineups, you would have expected Spirit to be the ones, pushing the tempo of the game early on and things. But
they're coming over smoked. They see Toronto Tokyo. They've sent these wolves mid. Looks like they do want to wrap around, eventually make a play happen, but so do Team Spirit. They've got this RP that they're yet to use and yet to really find anything with. Toronto Tokyo, his smoke will be broken. Immediately, they'll go to the homing missile, but that leaves Fada a little bit vulnerable. He gets up onto the high ground, and Team Spirit are a little bit scared to commit without the vision that they need. And they do have a ward deep, but it doesn't spot anybody in this part of the jungle. They're worried about somebody coming over through mid.
Fada almost has a solar crest, by the way, on this gyrocopter. If you look at Dire's side, this solar crest is going to do so much work. Like, the amount of physical damage that can come out for the 3 cores.
Homing missile going into the Shadow Realm, pops the Bedlam. They've got the Cursed Crown, so they have the lockdown on a Skitter for a second. The Balance Strike comes through. They've got the RP. Do they have enough damage? We'll try to throw the Terrorize out in the Wukongs, but still Skitter surviving, time walking out. On the other side, they find themselves Toronto Tokyo. They have the call down right on top of this Ember. He'll try to remnant away. The only one dead so far is Mira. 33 is going to continue to chase. They've got Maposhka for some help. He has that Brain Sap. Thinking about going into the Fiend's Grip, but realizes he just needs to leave. They'll teleport out. They lose Collapse. And 2 heroes die on the side of Team Spirit. They throw everything in the kitchen sink at Skitter and just can't even get the first life out of his hands. He has the Aegis. He wouldn't even cared if he died once.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you're committing so much for the Aegis target. And they still have Chrono. They didn't even use Chrono that whole fight, Bkop. I will say, really nice target selection, though, by Tundra. They find the Willow first. And it feels like Mira is just not having a game right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Miposhka.
Toronto, Tokyo. Stepping up, meanwhile, Miposhka.
I need to punish this.
Ooh, Terrorize onto 2. Primal Spring down. They'll look over at the Invoker. They've got the Shockwave. Pull him in with Cursed Crown, stunning them both up. They'll get the kill on a 9 as well as Snake King. They're looking for one more. Fada trying to run away with that Pig Pole. Another Remnant forward. Homing Missile coming in. Toronto, Tokyo has the slight. He'll avoid the Homing Missile and get the kill on a Fada. That's 3 dead on the side of Tundra. Team Spirit with what seems to be one of their first good fights in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I respect that from Tundra. They show 3 heroes spot pushing the tower. You don't know where the other 2 are. They're trying to make a play top just between them. But Miposhka gets the Nightmare off before they could get like Cookie off or anything, right? So Team Spirit able to bring the numbers, turn the fight around.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Is this... Why? Oh, the Monkey King's bugged. Okay.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower
Nice. Yeah,
is
look.
under attack.
Nice.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Thanks, Gaben.
Oh, now he just looks like he has a cool Bleak Hallucination cosmetic.
Dragon.
200 gold. Plus 200 in the chat, guys.
And the thing is, right, like, the cores on Spirit aren't even that far behind at this point. Like, Toronto Tokyo's really farmed. Never mind Yatoro. He's close to the BKB on the Ember. That's the power of Empower, I guess, though, right? You can just keep your cores farmed up even if you fall behind in the early stages of the game.
Yeah, he's right there with 3-3 and ahead of the Faceless Void. Power of Empower. Always a fun sentence.
That's true. Collapse's net worth progression is pretty much non-existent at this point, though. I feel like we've been saying he's building Force stuff for, like, I think we said that like 10 minutes ago, right?
Probably not as long, because that's the 11-minute mark. I don't think he had Blink Arcane Boots at that point, but yeah. I mean, the point's still... We both are kind of just like... It feels like forever.
Yeah, it feels like so much has happened since, right?
Yeah. And is this Force Staff... He's going Force Staff Aether Weapons.
Yeah, it's all about the catch
okay, so that's why he's still building the Force Staff. He's also picked up the Shard.
Radiant's
So he's got
bottom
Horn
tower is
Toss.
under attack.
all about the skewer plays on this mag right now. You see, I think if that was his build, right? I think he went 1-4-4, if I remember correctly.
So it's not like his progression has been non-existent. It's just sometimes you miss it where it's just like, oh, okay, he's got Shard, and then everybody kind of forgets that that's still 1,400 gold progression, which is about what he's short on the Force Staff. Or was short on the Force Staff.
You have to remember as well, like, Tundra doing well in this early game, and towards the late game, they still have this, like, Chrono Cataclysm combo.
Ooh, Blink Skewer, and now they're going to Shockwave him. They use that Horn Toss, they have the damage to get the kill here on Nefada, and all of a sudden an opening is there for Team Spirit.
Yeah, there is the Bkop on the Ember now, though, as well, so he's going to be much more difficult to kill. Miposhka's hunting here. He's trying to set up for something, but it's just nowhere near to anyone on Tundra at the moment.
Hira just trying to get back into this game. Head him on the top wave. He's hoping to survive, and you can see the Black Dragon hiding in the trees, waiting for Mira to go away.
Yeah, we saw this yesterday as well, though, right? It's just a constant split push. And for these supports that are split pushing lanes, like, you can't kill this dragon. You kind of just have to let it do its thing. It has so much mana regen as well. It has the sustain to be able to just keep doing this.
Well, it was similar to the game Tundra had, where all they had was really the Clinks that could kill these Helm of the Overlord controlled units. Because they didn't really have anybody who could stand their ground and kill, you know, the Golem or the Dragon or the Thunderhide. So I feel like Spirit are kind of in a similar spot.
Mm-hmm. I think they saw that smoke there on Spirit, by the way, with their ward they have down. So they're going to know something's happening here. Whether they decide to smoke for themselves, yeah, Observer says. Observer sees, sorry. They have to smoke for themselves. Yeah, Observer says. 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 Ob
Line's going for the Ags. He's got this Midas, so his build has been progressing. He's kind of low in the net worth. I will say it's slowed down a little bit, but he wants the Ags. He wants to have that Cataclysm with the Chrono combination.
Look at this player. They're trying to wait to see if they can break the smoke, and then they have the ward on the high ground so they can go for the instant skewer plays. But Tundra are just into Roche.
And it's already half health. They've got the Solar Crest, the minus armor. It's so fast here. And they're going to have themselves not only the Aegis, but they'll have a Shard. Yeah, Fata most likely dead here, and we'll go down to Toronto, Tokyo.
Yeah, Fata's just getting information about where Spirit are, which is absolutely fine. Like you say, if they get the Roche for it, more than happy. He almost has AC on the Lycan. It's Bkop, man. This Lycan hero is
so farmed.
And the thing is as well, the teams that are left in this tournament, you know, I can't remember if Spirit have played that much Lycan, but I know Faith, Bian, and 3-3, both such good Lycan players.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying, really.
I definitely think if, when we get to the finals tomorrow, we're going to see a lot of contention on that hero.
Well, only if Tundra get there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
We'll see a lot of Venge, a lot of Lycan. It'll be a fun BO5, but for right now, we're in the BO3 lower bracket final. By the way, Yatoro, he's got himself that Deso, BKB, Echo Saber, building into that Basher and or Scotty. He's got those both queued up for the moment. There's the AC. So, all finished. 3-3, top of the net worth. You can see that Yatoro, with the help of the Empower, is kind of with it, and they're going to go after Skinner. They've got themselves the Fiend's Grip. Time walk. Oh, but back in. Chronosphere on the edge. He's trying to survive. Here's the Sunstrike. Mortimer's Kisses down onto the Monkey King, but he pops the BKB. Yatoro will survive. Mira trying to get out. And I think Yatoro maybe realizing that he wasn't able to escape just yet right there. He didn't TP immediately, and he goes into the trees and TPs out on top of them. Will leave. They get the Aegis out of the hands of Skidder and will leave with no casualties.
Do you know what's really funny? In the end, that's actually the best thing that could have happened. Like, they forced the Chrono, they forced the Lycan Shapeshift, and they still get the Aegis on the Void. And I thought, as soon as that Time Walk came through on the Void in the first place, they were definitely going to be losing, like, heroes there, right? Yujitoro tried to be greedy and hold the Boundless Strike for the Reincarnation and the Aegis, but Void just living.
Yeah, he time walked in and then reverse time walked, or time walked out, reverse time walked back in, and well, then through the Chrono, and still goes well for the side of Spirit. But
yeah, that's a great fight for Spirit. They just take the Aegis effectively for like without losing anything, which would have been initially what they wanted to do anyway. But they forced out spells as well.
Yatoro losing that Mithril Hammer on the Courier, so that'll be gone for 2.5 minutes.
I would say Toronto Tokyo doing a really good job of hunting these Hammer the Overlord creeps down. It'd be interesting to see if we... I don't think we're going to be able to, but like how much gold he's earned from these so far. I feel like it's like probably about 800 or so.
Certainly a lot. He's been boosting up, and now he's got that Ags. He'll replace the bottle with it. His Ags comes out, and then Nine's Ags comes out, so he's got Cataclysm ready to go. They just don't have Chrono to go with it, but it's only down for 35 more seconds.
Now, Bkop.
Yes.
Seen some combinations this tournament.
Yes.
Are we going to see the Time Wolf? That's the question.
Ooh.
I
The
don't know if
Time
you've ever
Wolf
seen...
gets stronger because it can use its sense of smell. Obviously, Faceless Void doesn't have eyes.
I don't know if you've ever seen a time walking wolf before. It's like some really dodgy thing out of Doctor Who.
Just can't close your eyes or let it get behind you.
Don't worry, Mortimer.
Although he's going for the Aeon Disc. Okay, now switches to the BKB. Can somebody whisper in 3-3's ears? Buy Ags. Although third Roche is coming. Like, he could just get it that way.
Oh, Shapeshift.
Shapeshift, Maposhka. He knows that sound.
Great chains.
Yeah, great chains into the Terrorize. They've got the Fear on a 33, and they're going to go after Fata with the BKB being popped by Toronto Tokyo. Oh, he's got that Maelstrom. It procs over. Remnant forward, gets the kill, and he'll leave with that. Mira's still around, and they do have this ward on the high ground, so they know exactly where the Dark Willow is. They'll get the Cold Snap into the Tornado and the Meteor with the Thunderhide here. Skidder will going to get the kill. Goes into the Shadow Realm, Scatter Blast, Team Spirit coming over, and, well, Mira's going to survive for the moment.
Oh, the horn
I say
toss.
for the moment, but the second he gets out of the Shadow Realm, they'll get the kill on a Mira. They'll take out Snake King, and that's because of Collapse coming in with the Horn Toss as well as the Skewer. So 2 heroes dead on the side of Tundra while they lose this Dark Willow.
Dire's middle tower is
Team
under
Spirit doing a
attack.
really good job of like poking, right? They're not committing heavily ever.
Searing Chains once again. They've got the root on a 3-3, Sight of Fist, and the Remnant back avoids the Tornado EMP. And Yatoro has that courier back. And he'll buy out on the Basher. And
I don't mind the Basher. I think it's pretty good. Like, stops the Lycan just being able to sit there and hit you, right? Where the Monkey King might be able to like get a cheeky bash, trade back. Any lockdown for the Void as well, obviously going to be really strong. Do you remember the times when Monkey King Wukongs used to have the bash effect? Oh,
I was just thinking that.
it was so bad.
It was very strong, because that was what? We used to see
4 Monkey all the
Obika
time.
go 4 Monkey pretty early into the Basher.
It became one of those really ridiculous things that should never have existed in the first place, really.
Dark Willow gets that shard, and it will be in the stash getting delivered pretty soon. You see Boyd, he's broken top of the net worth.
Yeah, doing a
Where
good job.
3-3 was there at the top, and he's going into the BKB. He's still farming very quickly. It's a race for first between the Monkey King and the Void at the moment, though.
We haven't seen a huge amount of Chronos this game either. It's been these big fights where like they kind of like kite around a little bit on the Ember and things, right? Where it's really difficult for Skeeter to ever find that opening with the Chrono. I love this refresher pickup on Ember that he's going for as well. Especially with the axe, your damage output, it becomes ridiculous.
Coming in with all the remnants, burst someone down. He's also got Blast Rig, so 8 more armor. He's got the Hair Trigger passive ability as well.
Yeah, and it's great against like the Lycan and the Void as well. These melee cores.
Yeah.
If you if you ever hit him on the Void, you're basically out of the fight for the next few seconds.
So right now for Tundra, they're doing a really good job. They have an 8K lead, and I wanted to go back to the supports that are still leading the way. You've got Maposhka with only 4,300 net worth. I compare that to Fada, who's here on the Gyro, has that Solar Crest. He's got himself, as well as the Tranquils, and I believe he has something flying out for him, and it's going to be the 4-staff components. Mortimer's Kisses sending Mira back. Tornado, though, it's going to be on the money. Sends him right next to the Thunderhide. They've also caught Maposhka. Both supports looking like they're dead. And they'll both fall. Tundra moving around the map cleanly. And this is right as Roche is about to respawn.
I think Yatoro's looking to try and push the wave here, potentially.
Tower is under attack.
Cleans it up and gets back into the trees. Roche, let's see. 2, 1, and a minute and a half. Oh. Picks up the Abyssal. As he's jumping in the trees and out of here.
I'm really surprised. I thought he was going to go Scardy. I'd have, bet a lot of money on it. We've been seeing a lot of Scardy this event so far, but goes for the Abyssal first. Interesting. No, but like we said, the lockdown is really key for them this game, right? They don't have great overall lockdown, especially BKB piercing. And they know Roche is coming up on Spirit. They have to, like, they can't just let them take another Roche this game.
For free.
They have good team fight, remember, on Spirit here.
3-3. It's Fire Snap cookied out of the pit. They're coming all the way around. They want to get the kill on a Skitter, but Skitter breaks the smoke. They've got the ward on the high ground. There's the Horn Toss into the Skewer. Do they have the control? There's the Fiend's Grip as well as the RP. The Terrorize comes in, and they should be able to get the kill on a Skitter. They'll end up losing Maposhka, but Skitter's going to buy back. They get the kill on a Snake King. They'll take out this Snapfire. And into the trees, Yatoro goes. Oh, Tornado hits on a Collapse and takes him out. The Tornado also edged out Yatoro, who's trying to TP out of this one. 3-3 with the damage won't be enough. But with those 2 kills, Spirit back off. They don't buy back, and Roche is going to be up in just a matter of seconds. Had everything, all the control there, ready to get the kill on a Skitter. He buys back knowing Roche is up soon and hoping to get them that Aegis.
And that's the thing, right? Like, you know that they've used Wukongs, they've used RP and everything, so if you buyback on Skeeter, and you come into the fight and get the Aegis anyway, then your buyback really doesn't mean anything. Like, it's fine, because you're still going to have that second life.
And they take it so quickly. That's Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard, all here for Tundra. They don't get that Ags for 3-3 that we were hoping for, but...
I will say, though...
I don't know if this game's going to end 3 Roches.
I would say they're really well played by Skeeter. He actually got the BKB off before he got gripped, and he almost lived. It was so close.
Just before. It was like a fraction of a second. Time walk in, time walk out. And Bramble May is down, and they'll take this tier 2 tower so quickly. If they're able to get on top of Skitter, they got to kill him twice, and that's a tough ask for them. He's only died that one time.
Yeah, I mean, they need to find different targets in the fight now, right? They can't just go on the Void anymore. Looking at potentially the Invoker as an option, but, I mean, Nine's doing a really good job of just staying in the backlines. These Wolves, scouting out Toronto Tokyo here.
Slights Remnants away into the trees. He'll get all the way back. Put that bottle back in his inventory, and he's picked up the full Refresher Orb.
And they've actually given the Refresher to Void, by the way. They didn't give it to the Invoker.
Double
Chrono.
Yeah, double Chrono.
Oh,
Wukong's going in on a Skitter. They've got the RP. They have the Abyssal. The control is there with the Boundless Strike. They'll take the Aegis out of the hands of this Faceless Void. But again, he's got that second life. The scan came out from Tundra and did land, but now they're moving in. They're trying to find something. They've got the Thunderhide as well as the Wolves scouting. 3-3 here in the front as well. He's got the Basher, so next time you do that in front of the Lycan, you may not be so fortunate to get out.
Yeah, Shadow Realm so strong, though. I mean, Spirit are doing a really good job of keeping themselves in the game, but Tundra's still in full control, right? Yes, they don't have the Aegis anymore on the Void, and that does give Spirit an opening. Like we said, the Void used buyback before, so the fact that they, like, don't really commit a huge amount, I guess RP is a decent, and they take the Aegis away, means Tundra can't be, like, just barreling down lanes anymore. Like, they do have to be a little bit concerned that if the Void dies again here...
And now you're on edge a lot more without that Aegis.
Yeah, and like even with this big net worth advantage they have, like we said, Spirit have a good teamfight lineup. So pushing high ground, especially into like Willow, into this Horn Toss Skewer combo from the Mag, not easy. Which is why you see them just focusing on building their lead instead of forcing this high ground too early.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sunstrike looking to spot any vision there. 11k lead for Tundra, but it feels like this net worth lead is a much slimmer. 3k of it going from Ada to Maposhka. And then you can see Collapse. Doesn't really have a lot of gold, but he certainly enabled his other cores.
Both teams, I think both teams a little bit worried here that the other team is smoked, so they're kind of just sticking together around their vision, which is quite entertaining.
Collapse going into that ninja gear, smoking himself up. Yeah, as you can see, they're both kind of scared.
Oh, going Refresher for the double Horn Toss.
Obviously, yeah, just the Horn Toss. He's not even level 18 yet, but he's about to be. Have that level 3 on the RP.
Flames rush forth. Double damage.
And I wonder if this early takeaway of that Aegis is going to slow down Tundra and hope to get themselves the 4th Roche. Obviously, we've talked about it. Void doesn't have buyback for 3 more minutes. It's a dangerous position to be in. They do have, 2 tier 1s still standing, so even if they do lose Void again, I don't think that exactly leads to them losing the game or anything.
No, not at all. Ooh, Blink on 9.
And he's got a Hex.
Yeah, so having that good initiation now, because, I mean, that is something that Tundra have been lacking, right? They have the Chrono, but you don't want to be using that first. So now having that Blink Mechanics on the Invoker might be a little bit easier. Almost got the Skadi on the Monkey King, though, as well, about 1,000 gold away. Oh, Telescope,
Getting close to it.
Radiant are scanning.
These teams kind of close to each other. You've got Toronto Tokyo leading the charge, Sleight of Fist, and now he's going to be hexed up by the Invoker. They've got the Meteor down. Root out onto this Snapfire is on the other
Chrono.
side. We've got the stun out onto Fada. The Chrono comes in, and that's going to be on a Toronto Tokyo. He's also got the Refresher with a Cataclysm coming in. They'll take out Fada, but they'll end up losing Toronto Tokyo. Toronto Tokyo doesn't have buyback, and now they're going to focus their attention on Poshka. It's a huge RP coming in. Do they have enough in the Wukong's command with the Battle Strike coming in? The Terrorize being thrown from Mira. No, they don't. They've got the Fear onto the Invoker, but it's just not enough damage at all. And now they're going to turn around and look to chase. They'll try to get the kill here onto the Monkey King, but Yatoro, into the trees. Time dilation. They have nothing to stop him from TPing out. 3 heroes down on the side of Team Spirit. Everything's starting to come together here for Tundra. They bought back on Fada. It was the double Chrono that took out Toronto Tokyo, who didn't have a buyback back into this fight.
Yeah, a little bit not on the same page there by Spirit, right? You want the Ember to be playing relatively close to the rest of the team, but he gets isolated. Really well played by 3-3 to pop the Aeon Disc early as well. So after that Hex initiation from the Invoker, they pop the Aeon Disc on the Ember, and then as soon as those Chronos come through, Ember does not stand a chance. To be fair, I don't think anybody would against double Chrono, but...
Yeah. So no more double Chrono. Chrono on cooldown for 70. Buyback available in 45 seconds here for the Void. Snaking spotted by Mura, and so is Skitter.
They had a Sentry on that high ground. Oh, no, okay, Spirit Sentry. Never mind. Oh, mid lane.
And just popped on 3-3. He's going to try and walk away, but Maposhka, look at his positioning, going into the Fiend's Grip.
Oh,
now they've got the Abyssal Blade coming out from Yatoro, who'll eat the cheese, but do they have the control? Yes, they do. Mira with the Bedlam doing so much damage to a solo target, and enough to get the kill into the Lycan, keeping 3-3 out of the game for 80 seconds.
No, that's such a huge net worth swing as well, killing off that Lycan. Big increase of gold there. And they should try and make the most of this here. They have RP back up again. Did they just use RP? Did I miss that?
RP was on cooldown, as it was still on cooldown for 20 seconds. It was used bottom.
Oh, so it was used bottom. I was going to say, okay, so they just used grip there. So the Lycan's still going to be dead. This is what I'm saying. And you have this big ulti backup again soon. Skewer.
Skewer back, first crown. They're going to catch him and look to get this kill on a Snake King. They'll find him.
You have to respect this Magnus hero. I mean, how many times have we seen this game already? I feel like this is, Spirit's way back into the game. And Tundra offering it up to them. Easier said than done to just avoid it, but...
Roche.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
30 seconds.
It's a quick one. Snaking's dead for a long time.
This is a while without Snaking. He might be forced to buy back.
Still yet to see this Kata combo, though, with the Chrono. Well, I think we saw it on the Ember, actually. That's a lie, but...
Yeah, it wasn't the big Wombo combo, though, but it was enough to get the kill on a Toronto Tokyo. It did cost them 2 Chronos, though. I'm walking, Shadow Realm, Homing Missile, all coming through on to Mira. Mira using that Stormcrafter just to get away from the time dilation.
And Roche is up, and as you see with the Sunstrike, Tundra C. So they do know it's up here. And they're going to smoke out. Snaking might have to buy back here, even if it's only 20 seconds left, because you really can't give this Roche up. Not with the Refresher to the mag. Toro just in the pit here.
Smoke, trying to wrap all the way around. Mira goes into the Shadow Realm, throws a Bramble Maze on the steps, and now they're going to get the Hex onto Toronto Tokyo. They're looking for the Terrorize. That doesn't land, but it does send Skitter back. He's
Shapeshift used.
got some help. They're going to use that Shapeshift. Meanwhile,
so Snaking's back up again now as well.
Sunstrike coming through on a Toronto Tokyo. Snake King's back up. Time walk into the pit. They see that Roche is at about half health. And they've been throwing the alacrity onto Skitter, but they've caught him. They're looking for the RP. No, they've already got the Fiend's Grip coming through onto the Faceless Void. There's the RP on the 2 with the Wukong's command around them. Skitter staking. They both die. They've got the buyback available on Skitter. They're going to look over as the Faceless Void's got to come back into the fight. They kill off 9. He's got buyback. Roche
Still
sitting
Chrono
about
up.
half health. They're not committing into it. They still have Chrono, and I believe they still have Cataclysm ready to go. So the Wombo combo is still available. Skitter time walks into the pit. They've got the Bramble Maze down, and Skitter's just going to go for a Roche. Yatoro looking, Skitter, right clicks in. Mira shows himself, Curse Crown onto Skitter. They've got the Primal Spring right onto these heroes as Curse Crown stuns up too, but they've got the Hex onto Yatoro. They'll drop down the Chrono. Do they have the Cataclysm? Yes, it's gonna come down.
The Nightmare!
Oh, the Nightmare saved from Maposhka! Maposhka saving Yatoro, but is Yatoro still gonna survive? The skewer back onto multiple heroes. They get the kill on Fada as well as 9. They'll take out 2. They look over at Skitter, and they will kill him off. 33, he can only just fight. It's a full team wipe for Team Spirit. They will dominate Tundra in this last fight. They will get the reward of Roche, and it is an absolute clean fight from Team Spirit.
Holy shit, Bkop. These skewers
Everything for them.
These skewers are absolutely insane, and that save from Maposhka just completely wins them that fight, and I think the game here with this. Keeping Yatoro alive so he can get the bound and stuff for the life steal, but collapse, man. These skewers are just unbelievable. These openings that he's finding over and over again.
Absolute madman. And right through the tier 2, they'll go onto the high ground. Nobody's got buyback here for Tundra. Divine Rapier now for Yatoro, knowing that he's got himself this Aegis. Look at these couriers. All these couriers going out. They're going to go for the tier 4 as the couriers are probably trying to go get something, maybe even distract the side of Team Spirit. They've got the glyph, but they do not have Faceless Void for 60 seconds. Backdoor is up. Backdoor doesn't matter.
See the couriers on the Radiant side? They're actually trying to pull the creep wave away. But, yeah, not going to be enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, they'll go for the throne, and Spirit with a perfect fight by the Roche pit will take game 1. That Nightmare from Maposhka saves Yatoro, the skewers, the RPs, all the control that came in from Spirit in that last fight, overwhelming. And, yeah, Spirit are going to take game 1. What?
I did not expect you to be wearing a onesie, Bkop.
I told you guys to
incredible.
all wear a onesie. You guys bailed. You guys bailed. It was onesie day.
We actually just tricked you into wearing a onesie, and we all didn't. We were never going to wear one anyway. So, yeah, really well played by Spirit, though. So impressive. Their team fight coordination just unbelievable this game. And yes, they have the lineup to pull off these big team fights, but the execution so perfect.
Yeah, really was. It was absolutely perfect there from Team Spirit at the end, and you could feel them creeping their way back in. Tundra, I don't want to take anything away from them. I thought their game was going really well. They played really well in the first 35 minutes of this game.
They lost the Aegis, though, on every occasion when they could have really pushed for it. You know, Skeeter got picked off. Really well played by Spirit to find that. But, I mean, yeah, unbelievable game. Honestly, it's such a massive turnaround.
Yeah, a massive turnaround that gets them game 1 in this lower bracket final. They're now 1 game away of getting their way into the grand final against LGD. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with game 2 in just a moment. Stay tuned. We'll see you in a second.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I wanna go!
Searing heat.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
It can't be.
Must be turning range. I'll never get tired of you.
Your shrine has fallen to
Me out.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Remember this.
You pay for
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
big shot!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What a game one we have been treated to in this series between Team Spirit and Tundra's. Team Spirit do continue their momentum and get the 1-game advantage over Tundra in this series. Tundra leading for the vast majority of that game, but Team Spirit, they're constantly finding their ways to keep themselves in the game leading up to this big moment. I do want to talk about this really big moment, but first, how did they get there? How did they keep themselves in the game so long?
There's
Man,
a lot of. Oh, go
Please
ahead.
go.
You-
No.
Oh,
You,
okay.
you,
all
you're
right.
first.
So there was so many little things that Team Spirit were doing to keep themselves in the game, but Tundra were also like kind of being a bit disrespectful in the way that they were playing. Like they didn't really expect Team Spirit to be doing those things, and those things were just constantly split pushing with the Ember Spirit because it was so hard to kill him. Right, their only real catch to the Ember was pretty much Chrono. There was even a fight super late game where they had to drop 2 Chronos to eventually just kill this position to Ember, who could obviously buy back. And the later the game goes, was going to get harder. But for me, the big thing is like Team Spirit, wherever they could find any kind of pick off, they just went for it. It doesn't matter what they had to use. They just wanted to get 1 kill, make Tundra be 4 versus 5 on the map so they don't feel like they can go out and take any objectives. That one fight bottom, like specifically, where they were going for this Aegis Void. Now, from our perspective, it's like, why are they dropping so many skills on this Aegis Void? But if you get rid of that Aegis, Tundra is not going to feel like they can go into the high ground without killing you outside of the base. So just by doing small things like that, they just kept delaying the game. Eventually, Team Spirit's team fight became even stronger because Tundra's only real catch was the Chrono.
They capitalize on every single small mistake that Tundra has done. If you recall around the mid lane, there's a fight. They're trying to... Actually, Invoker is full HP. He's completely fine. And there's a double damage Ember Spirit sitting right next to him on the low ground. 9, for some reason, he tosses that tornado. The moment the tornado misses Ember, there's 3 heroes moving to that particular place because they know, okay, our Ember has DD. Now he doesn't have to continue farming. Tornado is done. They can't dispel it. We can fight, and they get a kill on like 2-3 heroes. Every single small mistake that Tundra does, Team Spirit just capitalizes on. But it's Steven also mentioned it really well, the fact that they are spreading them across the map. Toronto Tokyo was so on point with his Aghanims plays, killing off Fata multiple times and also forcing, 3-3 to use his wolf form to try and catch someone, snaking to use his ulti. Every time it happens, it's just buying yourself more and more time. And this Magnus plus Monkey King, they will farm really well if you give them the opportunity. This last fight, by the way, Nomad, you said during the game that it's one of the best fights you've seen. Tell us why. I don't have to talk about it.
I mean, my God, like I thought it was over. Like when the Chrono comes down onto your turret, I'm just like, all right, that's it. Like Skitter's done it. He's landed the Chrono he needs to. Maposhka with the Nightmare save just in time to save him from the Cataclysm damage. Like my God, and also Collapse. Like we talk about how this man is like kind of like, you know, Yatoro and Toronto Tokyo, the 2 shining knights, and Collapse is a peasant who's picked up a pitchfork and has decided to join the front lines of battle. This guy has no fun this game. He's been playing very sacrificial, you know, almost a position 4 Magnus at this point. His team fight impact was more than anybody else in the entire game, which is just absolutely crazy. Like initially catching the Void to kill him off the first time, madness. Then the 2-man skewer and also catching the Void in there as well to get them inside the Wukong's command. Then Yatoro can heal. I mean, my God, like that was just some next level shit from Team Spirit. Sorry, I enjoyed it a lot as well.
No, I knew that you were preempt, that you really wanted to share the whole story. So once again, Bkop did a really good job of narrating it. But it was worth it to repeat the whole situation. That sleep from Poshka, perfect.
We kind of like they won the game in the end, but to be fair, Tundra were playing some incredible Dota before that happened. You know, like they won on Team Spirit, but I still feel like Tundra were playing so damn good, especially the early game. Like 33 with that Lycan, I think he got way too much in the laning stage, which then allowed him to go middle with the Helm of the Dominator creep, take a really early tier 1 tower. Team Spirit didn't take the tier 1 tower back until 41 minutes. Like that's how long Tundra were able to defend. And like the way that they were buying back to protect Roshan, you know, throughout the game and just taking these fights, like even though they were lacking disables, they made the best of it, in my opinion. And Tundra, maybe they just need a little bit more, or maybe push the advantage, or maybe don't fall for Team Spirit's antics where they just want to kind of remove your Aegis so that you can't go high ground. You know, just ignore them. Try to just brute force it down mid lane with your Lycan or something, because their high ground defense wasn't that good apart from the Magnus just scoring. And you can't really score like a Faceless Void.
I mean, well, that's the thing with the Shard now, right? That you can kind of skewer Faceless Void a little bit because you have a stun integrated into it. Like previously, you can't skewer because there's no stun aspect on skewer, but with Shard, you can sometimes get away with it. That's how they got that fight. But yeah, I mean, it's not nearly enough in that lineup to be able to actually, you know, defend properly. So yeah, I do agree. with your points in principle. But man, I mean, it was a really, really tough early game for Team Spirit. It did go badly for them. We can't forget that, and that's kind of the power of the Lycan. They didn't really have a very good answer for it in the end. Well, actually, I guess in the very end they did, but in the draft, do you think they will approach it differently in the next game with in terms of like the Bane Monkey King being so highly prioritized as an answer to the Lycan for them?
It's difficult though. If you ban out, you're not going to be banning out Bane. I don't think so, at least. Even though Miposhka deserves that respect ban, there's just too many heroes that you want to get rid of. Monkey King, perhaps, but so far we have seen teams mostly try to figure out a draft that works versus a Monkey King instead of banning him. Venomancer was probably one of the better picks recently. Some Storm Spirits. So there are ways of dealing with him. You don't have to instantly ban it out. I think if you match up these two teams with same drafts, like if we could have a mirror mode in Dota, I think Tundra would win. The problem is, it depends what kind of a draft there is. If it's a normal standard draft in which you're protecting your carry, you're stacking the triangle, Tundra wins, I think 9 out of 10 times. If you have this crazy, fast-paced Dota, CIS is their bread and butter. Like, Team Spirit is going to take it. You need to cut down their strategy in its roots, and that's mostly banning out these playmaking mids, I think. That's very necessary for them.
And I do want to take a minute just to reflect on Team Spirit and exactly where they are now, because let's not forget, this team completely bombed out of ESL full. They did not do well in that tournament. They didn't get out of the group stages in that event. Like, no one was really looking at them coming into this event. They were one of these teams where it's like, well, they're not up to standard. SEAs have stronger teams. European teams are real stronger, blah, blah, blah. Not true. Like, what a redemption arc from this team. They have just proven us wrong again and again and again. And this is the old Team Spirit. This is the Team Spirit we've seen from the Anna Major. They're starting to get that momentum back again. And it is just such a treat to watch this team playing at such a high level once again, because I was so sad at ESL 4 when we just didn't really see them show up. But here they are playing at 110, and I'm excited to see how far they can push it. Do you think Tundra need to answer Collapse better in the next draft? It's kind of a weird thing to say, because he was kind of shut down. He didn't have much money, but at the same time, this guy doesn't need money. We've talked about it before. Is there a way to better answer this guy?
I don't think it's about Collapse, to be honest. What they need to address, they just need to figure out, like, how can we close out this game, and understanding what Team Spirit game plan is. Right? Like, they just wanted to split push until they got the team fight that they wanted for themselves. So it's more about figuring out the opponent as a whole, the way that they like playing. They like to delay games on the side of Team Spirit and then fight when they have their item timings and they're really strong. And Tundra like to just take all your objectives, force you to make a mistake, then go high ground and, punish that. So just stick to that. Just get maybe a little bit more catch, perhaps, because Team Spirit like to split push so much, and I think that might just solve Tundra's issues.
Bit more catch, a bit more get on top of them, and a bit more control them up. Well, we'll see what they decide to do as we jump into the draft for game number 2 of Team Spirit versus Tundra here in the lower bracket finals of the OGA SAPPHIRE Dota pit.
Mm-hmm. So I don't...
We're seeing the same bans, right? Bloodseeker, that's right. Or maybe a Kotl goes out next from Tundra. And what did Team Spirit ban second? Can't remember. By the way, was Night Stalker even banned? It was banned in the last game, right? Probably in the first phase, because I can't remember.
I don't think Night Stalker was ever going to go through.
No way.
And Team Spirit banned it out in the first game. I was only thinking maybe Team Spirit want to take Night Stalker for themselves. I think that's also really good. Collapse plays an incredibly good Night Stalker too. But it looks like they're just prioritizing the Bane. They just want that free Bane and give Tundra whatever they want afterwards.
10 seconds remaining.
They're thinking about it, though. They're not immediately looking in that Bane, which is a little bit surprising. But
you think maybe they'll go Gyrocopter instead? Because that's pretty much the only 2 heroes that I think they will opt for here.
There's Shadow Demon as well, but they just go with the Bane. Meanwhile, Tundra, are they gonna do the same thing? Same opener, Lycan +1, or maybe Lycan? And are we gonna see a
Gyro.
gyro?
Yeah.
You don't want to
if
give
not
Team
Team
Spirit
Spirit,
game gyro, right?
exactly,
But-
Dire
exactly.
team pick.
Yeah, they have to do
snatch it. And Team Spirit, are we gonna see a Monkey King perhaps?
Ooh,
Maybe, just maybe.
exciting draft. But what does it actually mean when teams are willing to repeat the same drafts over again?
Okay.
Well,
So
it usually
for-
means. Sorry, go.
No, you go ahead. You go
It
ahead.
usually means that the team that has lost with the draft has identified the
seconds
mistakes, or they
remaining.
think they have identified the mistakes, and they want to, you know, prove that their draft was actually good and that it works.
Dire team
Or they're just
back.
big-headed, you know, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna
One
win.
of Magnus.
Ooh.
I believe in this situation though, for Team Spirit, it's like, okay, this is like this guy literally carried us through half the fights, right, with the Bane, and it was amazing. It's like the best fight we're gonna get. And Tundra is like they're kind of
10
locked into
seconds
those two
remaining.
heroes. They don't really have another option,
Brilliant team
right?
ban.
Like Lycan was perfect in the last game. There's nothing that Lycan did wrong. And then Gyrocopter is like, if you don't take it, then Team Spirit are gonna pick it up, and you're gonna be in a much worse situation. So in this situation, it's like a little bit different than why normally people run it back the
10
same lineups.
seconds remaining.
Yeah, because of the matchup right now.
My
5
question now
seconds
is only,
remaining.
do you ban out the Tide or not? I think this Magnus earlier pickup that Team Spirit plays on offlane on Collapse might give Tundra that one extra ban that they can work with. Because in the last game, they needed to protect the Lycan a little bit
Dire
more.
team back.
This time around, perhaps they don't have to. They ban out the Phoenix. They've all watched the Axe plus Phoenix game. Even though I think that game was a little bit more on Axe than on Phoenix, but Mira did do a lot of good work with the Phoenix.
10
Some
seconds
nice
remaining.
supernovas.
Team ban.
Some nice sun rays here and there.
This is basically Omni Knight, the patch hero, right? And it's kind of decent versus Magnus, but Wyvern is probably considered the best support or one of the best ones. Every time there's an RP, you can just follow up with that curse and prevent any
10 seconds
any
remaining.
follow up from the enemy team.
Yep, and 9 is very capable of playing it
5
as well, so it
seconds
becomes a
remaining.
flex pick for Tundra. I think it's very wise for Team Spirit not to
Oh
to
yeah,
let
exactly.
that grenade
They
come
play
flying
it
their
mid
way.
too. I forgot about that.
Dire
They
team
play mid.
ban.
And there
It's
it goes,
reasonable.
right?
Not many
monkey
people look
instead
at
of the
Wyvern.
Tide.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you don't need to ban out Collapse's heroes anymore because he's probably playing this Magnus.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's just so good on it.
10 seconds
I really
remaining.
can't imagine him going for a mid mag in this kind of
5 seconds
patch right now.
remaining.
I mean, they have played it once this patch on Yatoro. So
carry.
somewhat flexible. But yeah, I mean, now 5 games on the Magnus with a 83% win rate. Pretty good. Or something like that.
What do you think the adjustments are going to be here this time around? I feel they're probably not going to go for the Invoker again.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, and probably not the Snapfire either. They'll definitely need to make some changes. Might see the Dark Willow from Tundra themselves steal that too.
My problems just with Tundra's drafts overall are the Gyro 5. At the moment, at least, versus Team Spirit, it's very difficult to play. When your 5 doesn't offer you any sort of control whatsoever, and your offlane is a Lycan, you already have these 2 heroes that usually have either catch or control, being pretty much only damage dealers, right? That's the problem. That's the biggest issue for me. And when you're relying on such a long cooldown Chronosphere to catch all these elusive heroes that Team Spirit loves to
Radiant
play,
team ban.
I said it, they need to focus on cutting down these spirits on the mid lane somehow. It's either banning them all out, banning 3 out of 4 and picking one, or getting enough instant lockdown and catch for them. And so far, they haven't done any of those things. But it's Tundra. They
10
can play Oracle
seconds
mid and win,
remaining.
so what do I know?
They didn't win with Oracle mid.
5 seconds remaining.
They can play
They
Oracle mid,
probably
though, so you know.
they probably won some scrim.
Radiant team
Why would they
pick.
pick it instead if they didn't? You know what I mean? Like, let's
Yeah.
just try this Oracle mid in a tournament.
I
But I
kind of
do
feel
think-
like. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I do think Dark Willow here would be an amazing pick for Tundra because they're gonna. If not, I totally see Team Spirit going for it again because they paired very well with Magnus and it had so much burst damage that could, and the Bane and Dark Willow together can run around and kill heroes on their own. And that's also a catch hero, right? Like last game they had a Snapfire, who doesn't provide any catch for you. It's just raw damage.
It was also damage, yeah, exactly. So your 4, 5, and 3 were pure damage. Your mid lane a little bit of control. Nah.
Dire team
It's just difficult to play that kind of Dota. They go with SD instead.
Say, okay. Well, that isn't really a catch, but their team fight just improved significantly, and you have a save against the grip now.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's really important.
10 seconds remaining.
We've actually seen a lot of teams in this tournament so far open up with
5
Bane and
seconds
Shadow
remaining.
Demon. Shadow Demon was contested a little bit more before. It fell out of favor, but I still feel the hero is extremely strong. The only thing is usually it has some sort of combos with that disruption. I don't see them at the moment, at least. And the Shadow Demon plus Lycan lane, yeah, you can surround people with wolves and illusions, but besides that, doesn't strike me like the most difficult thing to deal with.
Do you think they might go for a lion here on Team Spirit now? Last time I saw Shadow Demon against Team Spirit's opponents, like they went for the lion. I like the mana drain with a shard.
Versus
Just
the
remove
illusions,
the
right?
illusions. Yeah. So you can kind of take that away, but you don't really get to see what their carry is.
Void incarnate.
They pick up the spear right away, so it does not get banned out in the second phase. They know that's what would happen. So they're actually most likely holding their carry till the end. And
Yeah, I mean-
that's a bit worrying though, because like Magnus surprising doesn't have that many good partners.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and 2 have been banned out already, the Monkey and the PA.
Radiant team pick.
Probably the 2 favorite ones for Team Spirit, that they pick up that Dark Willow that we talked about. Why not? It already works so well with Magnus, the skewer into the brambles in the lane. Later on, the RP and the ulti is good. But yeah, on you, back to your point of partners with
10
Magnus,
seconds remaining.
I guess there is one that doesn't really need Mag.
5
It's
seconds
that Sven.
remaining.
That's still in the pool. Decent versus Lycan as well. Not so great versus SD though, but there aren't many that are good versus that you can say, okay, I like playing into SD.
Yeah, it's an anti-carry. Weaver.
Yeah.
Just one of those very annoying heroes. So Tundra, I mean, are we expecting it to be the same as before? Dario 5, Lycan 3, and they're looking
Yes.
for their carry in the mid here?
Yeah, they're most likely gonna try to go for the carry first, or they could technically wait,
Dire
pick the
team
mid first
back.
because you already see the matchup for the Void Spirit
Oh,
with the Slark. Oh,
well, that's something different.
yeah. So it's good night vision, very good at like scouting out Magnus and not getting RP'd essentially. Like you can remove the RP too, and then Dark Willow as well.
10
You can just
seconds
remove
remaining.
all those little debuffs, which is very nice.
5
So you only
seconds
have to
remaining.
worry about Bane pretty much in this game. If you're Slark, there is some AoE damage, but it's not really that scary for his ulti.
Yep.
Looks decent.
Radiant
Still
team
though,
back.
looks very Tundra-like, on brand, and
Yep.
all over the place. Once again, not too many stuns, not a lot of catch. Feels like this Slark is going to have to do a lot of work in that mid game, just like the Void
10
had to.
seconds remaining.
But we finally get to
Yeah.
see a Slark, guys.
At last.
5
I mean, this has
seconds
been, I think, one of the most popular carry heroes in the high MMR games for a very, very long time. But
You don't have to ban out Sven anymore, right? That's a hero that you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about Morphling, most likely, if you even worried before. So those bans you can just skip, stop thinking about them, and figure out a different one. Maybe the Sven was on their mind as well. Like Sven would be pretty solid for Team Spirit.
yeah, I can see it. It never feels good to pick something which doesn't synergize super well with Mag, but at the same time, when the hero is that strong, you can't ignore it. And it is still buffing up your damage, which no carry is ever going to cry about.
Team Spirit banning out the
know,
Lash.
I'm feeling like it doesn't sound that good against Lycan, but
10
there might be a
seconds
Faceless
remaining.
Void coming up here for Team Spirit.
5
It's very good
seconds
against Slark.
remaining.
I know there's a Shadow Demon save as well, but he can't be saving from like every single skill in the game.
It's true.
A lot of damage with Magnus. It's
Yep.
decent. Only problem, well, it's not a small problem. It is an issue. You don't have damage in the pit,
In the
chrono, right? Like that's the only sort of a problem.
Right.
But if you have Mag and you're hitting for 500, I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah,
Maybe a Spectre. Oh yeah.
I'm
All right,
gonna
tell us,
suggest
Nomad.
something for 9 here. I'm just moving across the other side quickly. You guys aren't gonna like it, but I think if there's a game for it, this might be it. How do
Never
we
like
feel about Earth Spirit mid for Tundra?
No, let's not go down this route again. We've been there already. 9 Earth
seconds
Spirit was a
remaining.
big no.
He has won a game with it, but he was also, yes, he
5
has, there was
seconds
also
remaining.
9 has so many good heroes that he plays, and
Radiant
that
team
is
pick.
a rough one, I think, in this patch.
okay. It's a
over a
Magnus
game to play it. though.
Magnus
It's-
carry, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Like
It's a
Subway.
Magnus carry. Okay, we're going to game 3, boys.
Why? You don't like the Magnus carry?
Let's just say I've had
remaining.
bad experience with the Magnus carry, and all the games that I've seen
5 seconds
Magnus carry
remaining.
have been pretty abysmal. I mean, why are you asking me? Don't you remember, like, during the DPC? I'm not sure if this was season 1 or 2.
It was
But
2,
in
yeah,
it-
but I remember
In
it.
SCA, in SCA, Magnus was very contested for like a week on that position 1, and then when every single team that picked it on position 1 lost, they didn't even ban it afterwards. It just got ignored completely
Yeah.
for the rest of the season.
All right,
Any
Tundra.
Invoker here?
Give me something crazy. Oh, man. I mean, they've been so beaten down by LGD that they've lost their spark, but it is looking much more sane. It's looking much more normal from them. They will go with the Ember Spirit mid for the side of Tundra Esports, and that's going to round off their draft. Guys, what are we thinking about this final pick, and which team do you think is going to take this game to?
I'll go first again, and I can't. I'm a Slav. I need to go with Team Spirit.
You
It's,
literally just said it. We're going to game 3.
It doesn't matter. Team Spirit chose me. I didn't choose them. It's over.
All right, Steven.
I think the momentum is behind Team Spirit. I mean, this is what, 5 wins in a row now? Going for their 6th win here, and Tundra, oh man, it's so hard. I think Team Spirit. There was a good adjustment not to put the Magnus against the Slark in the offlane, and an empowered Void Spirit is going to be pretty strong too. Tundra, they need to really win this early minigame. That's what I feel like.
I think they've fallen into a trap, Tundra, in not focusing on this Magnus, the possibility of it being a carry. They let all of these offlaners through, and they've given Collapse, they've opened up the box of chocolates and just said, hey man, which one do you want? And he's taken his favorite chocolate. And, we know what Collapse can do when you ban out all of his heroes, when you focus all your bans on him. Now, he's allowed to pick whatever he wants. Tundra have got it coming to them, man. Like, this is going to be brutal. I'm going for Team Spirit as well, because my boy Collapse ain't going to let me down. I'm pretty sure about that. But let's find out what our casters have to say about this one. We have Bkop, and we have Mofarah.
Thank you very much, Nomad. Coming into this game number 2, I think Collapse, he's got himself, probably milk chocolate. He's probably a milk chocolate kind of guy. Or maybe a rose chocolate. I don't know if many people have had rose chocolate before, but it's delicious. It's the 4th chocolate. But yeah, he's got himself that blink initiating hero with some lockdown. Maybe not as, big and impactful as you're thinking, but I think it's going to be big and impactful. And I think Collapse is going to be pretty strong with this Sand King. I worry for Tundra how they're going to deal with this, and what they can do with this Slark Ember Lycan core combo.
Yeah, I think they have some damage issues on Tundra potentially. If they take these long fights, then eventually the Slark will come online, right, and they'll be able to, eventually just chew through. I have a high tier level analysis here for you though, Bkop. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm always
Now,
ready.
We didn't get to see the Blood Wolf yesterday. We didn't get to see the Time Wolf in the last game. What about the fish wolf?
Okay.
Do
Half
we?
fish, half wolf, half slark.
You were really struggling to think of something there, weren't you?
I forgot his lore. I can't remember the
30
name.
seconds to battle.
I think Team Spirit's side lanes in particular look really strong, though. Obviously, having this like Nightmare Mag. You have the Nightmare into the skewer, right? Where if they're not really careful, you can skewer the enemy under the tower. So, gonna have to be very careful on the Shadow Demon and Lycan not to ever push out of position. And this Sanking Willow as well. I mean, there's so much damage that can come through from these two.
The battle begins.
Interesting to see how Collapse skill builds this game as well.
Yeah, a lot of control in these lanes that could be difficult to deal with, and Sneaking will pick up the bounty as he disrupts Yatoro, and so will 33, so 2 for 2. Then
Do they
Fada found a sentry
Who put the ward down first there? Do we know?
on the cliff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to click the other one.
It's
The
good call
100
from
did.
Tokyo. Oh my
That
god,
ti-
3-3! This block with the wolves is unreal. Like, all of a sudden, this combo that they have with the Nightmare, potentially, they're so far away from the tower. Oh, my Poshku's playing against Lycan again.
He's always playing against Lycan and dying to the wolves.
Something running away from wolves, yeah.
He'll change his name from Maposhka to Dances with Wolves. Soon enough. And yeah, we've seen 33 be such a great Lycan player. He's taking a lot of damage here from this mag.
Mag, not easy to lane against at all. And with the Bracer especially, he has a lot of damage to work with. Doesn't even need the Quelling Blade.
Ooh.
3-3. Oh, misses the Shockwave. 3-3 is going for this build again that we've seen. I can't remember who it was yesterday that did. Where you get the Quelling Blade and you rush the Helm of Dom with the Helm of Iron Will.
You get that Helmet Iron Will pretty quickly. You've got that extra armor and HP regen.
Oh, Salve cancelled on 3-3.
Yeah, just on the edge. Which is going to be significant because Snaking only has 2 tangos to give him.
Yeah, like, they don't have any more salves between them. I wouldn't be surprised to see another one coming and getting ferried out here.
It's going to be on Snaking to have to buy that, right?
Yeah,
And he is.
His
he
courier
is.
is coming out. He knows.
Yep. Got that salve. Mid lane right now is 9 just a touch ahead of Toronto Tokyo.
Yeah, and after the madness of last game, it is easy to forget how well 9 played in the early stages of last game with these Invoker rotations. So, 9 off to a good start already again. How's
Yeah.
bot lane going? Because we haven't talked about that lane at all yet.
Sark 12 and 2, so Skitter doing a good job. And, well, you know, you still have Collapse at 11 and 0. But for the moment, he's about a half level behind Skitter and not too comfortable standing in as he's gone Burrow Strike as well as the Caustic Finale. And, ooh, he's going to lose his courier, but I believe it dropped off whatever it needed right before it died.
I'm
Oh.
dealing with you. You understand that, right?
A little Burrow Strike
Toronto
right
Tokyo mid!
Yeah, he's getting quite low. They've got the Searing Chains, but 9 taking the damage here from the
No
tower. And
way.
the Assimilate's still going down. 9 will get first blood, lose his life afterwards to the tower. For a second, I thought Toronto Tokyo had just outplayed him, but comes out of the Assimilate, doesn't have the damage, and 9 gets first.
I think if he had gone anywhere instead of on top of him, I think the tower would have finished him off anyway, right? So, a bit brave from Toronto Tokyo, thinking he could have got through that Flame Guard. But not quite enough damage, so good trade for 9 there. Gets the XP advantage in the mid lane. So, getting to that level 6 first is going to be really key here.
That, of course, being if 9 doesn't give it right back, but it doesn't look like he will. And Maposhka only came over for a sip of the fresh bottle and then put a sentry down to block this camp.
Yeah, really nice. I mean, honestly, this top lane, though, is the one that really worries me for Tundra. Oh, Skeeter taking a lot of damage. Do they have a salve? There, okay, they have one on the gyro. Thanks for that. Because the thing is, like, with these wolves in this laning stage in top lane, you can't even push in with them, right? Because the Magnus just cleaves through them. You have to be so careful about how you micro them. I mean, if there's anybody that can do that, it's going to be 3-3. But
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And 3-3, again, just you gotta praise his prowess with this Lycan, and he's been in tough spots before. Yatoro doing a really good job at the moment, 25-7. And interested to still see how Yatoro is going to use this Magnus. A bit of a different hero from him based on what we've seen from him before.
oh, Barter.
In some trouble. Burrow strike,
That's
Bramble
sick,
Mace.
though.
Skitter coming over, though, doing a lot of damage on Amira. Vada has the stick. He'll pop a salve, stay alive, and nobody going down in this bottom lane.
Look at Far's net worth, by the way, on the gyrocopter from where he's just been buying salves over and over again. He has level 6
Nightmare
on the
mid.
Ember here, so he'll be fine. Can always just jump away if he needs to.
It'll keep Toronto Tokyo alive, which is big, because if he had died a second time, his impact in this game really slows down. He really wants to hit that 6 and potentially make a jump. I would almost go as far as to say top. I'm not sure if he wants to go bottom or if they think they have the control to get the kill on the Skitter just yet.
It's a difficult kill to get this Slug. I don't think it's gonna unless he like steps up and somehow blows up by like 4 caustic creeps. I don't see it happening.
Mm-hmm. C33, despite the fact that he was struggling with his lane a little bit, he ends up top of the net worth. They're going to look over at 9 again. They've got the Cursed Crown, but he gets a Remnant out.
Oh, the region spawns top as well. Can Toronto Tokyo get there first?
Wolf was there trying to make sure that they could deny it or hold it for 9, and it does a good job of securing it.
Is under attack.
He's running top here as well. They want to contest the stacks.
And Yatoro might be in some trouble. Snake King's over here. They've got the help from Aposhka. If that's enough, though, 3 stacks of the Shadow Poison. The Nightmare is out onto 9, but Yatoro looking very dead as the Sleight of Fist comes in from 9 and finishes him off. Aposhka, not a lot he can do with just the Nightmare there, and it's a good job by 9 to come over and get that kill.
Middle tower is
I mean,
under
that's something Spirit have been so good at this tournament as well. Obviously, when they played that gyrocopter as well for Yatoro, getting these stacks on the Dire side. So, well read by Tundra to get this deep vision down, if you can see the ward in the top jungle. And going and contesting the stacks.
Refuse gold given.
He's getting phase boots on Sand King. Interesting.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's
Drag
top
this
tower
creep wave all the way over. You see where 3-3 is just farming, and he goes into the shapeshift. They want to go in Yatoro once again. They've got
he's in
Snake King as
trouble.
well as 9 here. He just came into the lane. He'll skewer back under the tier 1 tower.
Has
he does
RP.
have RP. And now they might be able to get a kill here onto 9. Thinking about the RP, there's the slight RP missing. Oh, just on the edge of that slight. And now he's able to remnant away. Curse Crown's still there. 3-3 with the shapeshift. They've also got the help from Fada. They'll go after Maposhka. The chase is on under the tier 1 tower. The remnant forward looking at Mira as
Great
well.
chase.
They'll get the kill on Maposhka. The Searing Chain's locked up full supports, bringing them close enough to potentially run down. They'll go into the Shadow Realm. 9 is ready to go. Has a Sleight of Fist ready to throw, and Searing Chain's in a second one shot from dead, and 9 will get the kill. They'll take out 2 heroes here on Spirit, and Tundra now have a 4-1 lead.
9 is
Dire's
styling
top
right
tower
now.
is under attack.
He's having a great time.
Dire's structures
Yeah, look at that
are
damage, as you can
fortified.
see. That RP was really unfortunate from Yatoro, though, right? Like, it was like a frame away from actually hitting the Ember. But these
You're
wolves,
watching
so they're
him.
scouting out the stacks.
Yeah.
And Snake King's coming over.
And now he knows he's been spotted.
And the thing is, like, you know it's not even a Wolves, you know it's the Wolves. Like, what do you do?
The thing, too, is Snake King's just going to steal this stack with the Shadow Poison. Grabbing
God.
2 neutral items with it and finishing off the Arcane Boots. So Snake King, he's sitting top of the net worth on the support. Similar situation to last game for Snake King, at least. Not a little bit more different. He's sitting bottom of the net worth, as we talked about that. He had a lot of regen getting ferried out over to the bottom lane.
The thing is, with those stacks as well on the Shadow Demon, like, he's level 5.5 at 9 minutes. So much XP on the supports already.
And now Mira making stacks, but coming out of the high ground is Fada, so he'll spot these stacks again. And Tundra kind of know the name of the game is stacks here for Team Spirit. Curse Crown, 9. He's going to back off. They found Fada instead. They'll drop down the Aether Remnant and the Bramble Maze. Going into the Shadow Realm, and Toronto Tokyo will get a kill, but Yatoro, he understands that Tundra are going to be aggressive for these stacks, and he's going to try and come over and clean them up. Shockwave, Sleight of Fist, Mira puts the Curse Crown on him. That will finally send him away with 4 heroes from Team Spirit showing. This is opening up a lot of space here for the side of Tundra, and the Burrow strikes into the trees, now trying to TP out. Damage just won't be enough, but they've already taken the tier 1 tower up in the top lane.
Yeah, Snaking not in range to get the disruption off, unfortunately. I don't think I've seen a game like this where stacks are so hotly contested in a long time.
Toronto Tokyo.
10-minute
Aether Remnant going for the double damage, picks it up, Astral Step away.
Oh, the pink pole.
Middle tower is under
Yeah, I don't know if it's enough. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains.
He'll be fine.
Poshka there just in case. They throw a sentry down and they're gonna spot this observer.
You have to remember as well, in this whole time that this chaos has been going on, Skeeter's been free farming away in this bot lane on the Slark. Like he's having a really good time. Almost has that Echo Saber online already, so for a hero that doesn't, farm particularly fast, especially in comparison to something like a Mag, Tundra have been doing a really good time to find him that space.
Collapse. Might be in trouble. Snaking trying to get over for the disruption. They've got Toronto Tokyo here, popping the double damage. He's going to go after Snaking. Snaking dead immediately. They've got the dust on a collapse, but I'm not sure that they were going to get him with that dust. There's nothing Fada can do, and he's now dead to Toronto Tokyo. Bull support's dropping on the side of Tundra. Good rotation there from Team Spirit as Collapse feeling the pressure and having to back off. And look at this. 3-3 taking the stacks again.
Yeah, he's having a really good time. And 3-3 we saw from the Lycan on him last game, and we talked about it with Faithian yesterday as well. Hitting that timing with the Helm of Dom and just farming for a little bit longer, right? And getting that Helm of the Overlord online before you really commit to these fights. Almost blink on Sanking here, by the way. 200 gold away. Could be a big timing, especially for, impairing with the Dark Willow. You have so much burst damage between the two of them.
Radiant's middle
Yep.
tower is
So the
under
kill
Now
threat.
you've got the Echo Saber on Magnus coming out too.
Okay, so game going okay for both teams. You'd say probably slightly favoured towards Tundra still if you had to choose a winner, but not really anything in it. Small margins.
Your anger is useless here.
It's so funny that Collapse got to play this amazing Mag last game, and they just have the ability to just flex it to position 1 in game 2. Like, I did not expect it whatsoever in the draft, and I don't think the panel did either. We kind of just assumed that it was going to be Collapse playing it again.
And I think they assumed that all the way through the draft, and now they'll go and look to try and get this kill. They've got the Nightmare, though. Maposhka trying to stay alive. The Pounce was in. The Terrorize is there. It's got the Slark in a bit of trouble. And now there's the disruption coming out from the Shadow Team. And they lock down Toronto Tokyo for a second. The Epicenter comes down and gets the kill on a Snaking. They're going to look for the rest. They've got the Shockwave that lands on 2. Fada looking like he might be dead next. Rocket Barrage on Yatoro, but he doesn't quite care. Astral Step looking for the Dissimulate. Doesn't land on Fada. Another Rocket Barrage, but eventually he'll have that Resonant Pulse to finish off Fada. And now you've got Toronto Tokyo, who is 4-1-2 and has gotten 4 kills in a row since dying over mid.
Nice place by 3-3 though to get the mid tier 1. Do they have grip available here? 9 just
And
by
there's
himself.
the grip. Shadow Realm strike, and they had everything ready to go in terms of more lockdown to make sure that they could finish off that Ember.
Have we ever seen a Team Spirit hero get picked off without them looking to try and react and get involved and turn the fight? I don't feel like we have. Feels like whenever anything happens, there's like 3 heroes there, like straight away.
They're always reacting, and they always react with numbers well. The communication is just... It seems like it's top-notch from Spirit. I don't want to take anything away from Tundra, because I think their communication has been just as good. It's just not better than Spirit's.
I'm still a little bit worried for Spirit about this Helm of the Overlord timing, though. We've seen what it can do.
Oh,
9? He's fine. He's okay. Yet to see much from Skitter, though, as well on the Slark. He's kind of just been farming away for now. And he just got the Echo Saber on the mag. The blink's already coming out as the observer's showing. It's going to be a big timing here. Yeah, I think they're grouping up to smoke
No surprise.
with the double blink.
Spirit find a timing. Spirit want to play aggressive with that timing, which has been their theme. Jules picked up for Toronto Tokyo. He's also going into the Boots of Travel, has a regen rune, and will have it available for this fight. 3-3 goes into the trees, kind of sensing that something's wrong. And that Helm of the Overlord, Ancient Black Dragon, is in the lane trying to do what he's been doing with this hero constantly.
The smoke's going to
3-3.
break.
He's got a TP. And do they want to fight? 3-3's going over. 3-3 moving in is the rest of Tundra right behind him.
The smoke broke onto 3-3, but they'd already gone on the dragon.
Good Aether Remnant, and now the Remnant forward from 9. Look for the Terrorize, holds it, and now Mira thinking if Tundra are going to come any further forward, I'll back him away with that Terrorize, and now the Yule's onto the Ancient Black Dragon. Cursed Crown, they're trying to get this 200 gold.
It's so quick, though. It's like a black dragon with skates on, you know?
Can somebody
See you
draw that
later,
for
idiot.
us?
Never refuse gold given.
Down. Ancient Black Dragon with 2 wolves. It's the toughest combo to pushing out waves.
Even more like Game of Thrones now.
Yeah. Everything except the last
Toronto
season.
Tokyo.
He's in pretty deep, and Snaky's going to immediately go with the Demonic Purge. They have Mira here for some help. Fire burning in Toronto Tokyo pretty heavily, but not enough to get anywhere near this kill. And then back over mid, they've got the Burrow Strike for the Epicenter. They have the Fiend's Grip to lock down 9 again.
Big kill.
They'll get the kill. The Epicenter brings Spotted down to about half health. Collapse now on the run. Snaking does not have
How
that
did they kill
Demonic
him, though?
Purge, and Collapse will just run away.
That's what I was saying. Where's the damage from Tundra? Like, I feel like they have so much chip damage, but to really commit to somebody is so difficult.
Ooh. Toronto Tokyo catching with the Yules, has the Aether Remnant, another kill here for him. He's on a mega kill streak, 5-1-2, and they're right by this tier 1 tower mid.
Now,
We haven't exactly felt Skitter at all this game.
Yeah, and look at Nine's net worth after this really good start to the game he had. Like, he's just died, I think, 2 or 3 times in a row, and now he's got nothing, really, in net worth. Like, he can't even finish off this Maelstrom because he understands he has to get this BKB now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And immediately Spirit respond. They bring 5 heroes over mid. They get a tier 1 tower, and they've got a 1k lead, putting the pressure on Tundra. Which, in the first game, it was Tundra putting the pressure on Spirit for about 35 straight minutes before they had a response. Do you see it going the same way? Like, can Skitter farm up enough where pressure's being put on by Spirit, but Tundra, they're feeling okay enough to eventually fight back?
I mean, my problem is, with the Slark, right? When he gets this diffusal, you're talking about them being able to fight back. I don't see this Skitter getting this diffusal and being like, wow, like, they're ready to go now, right? Until the Slark gets BKB, how do they fight back? Like, they have so much control, like with RP, with Terrorize, with Burrow Strike, with Fiend's Grip, like, there's so many things to worry about.
And
So, like, even if you get this diffusal,
yeah.
like, you're chipping away, they're going to have so many rounds of spells on Spirit that to take, like, this prolonged fight because you don't have insane Spirit, like, burst damage is going to be so difficult.
Ooh, Remnant actually, I believe, coming through and breaking that smoke. But you're talking about all these spells, and you're talking about him having BKB and feeling comfortable going for this fight, but they've got Fiend's Grip, they have RP. The BKB may not even matter.
Are they going Roche again?
Smoke while they're in the pit.
I don't think they can do anything about this, though. They just die so quickly, like with the minus armor. Actually,
It's not as quick. And they're starting to respond. Toronto Tokyo is going to throw an Aether Remnant in there and actually locks up Skitter, who gets bashed by Roche.
It's actually not fast whatsoever. I'm completely lying.
Skewer back into the Brambles. Burrow Strike to follow it up. They're going to lose themselves Fada. Do Tundra still want to fight this?
I've seen this before, Bkop.
It's not looking good for Tundra at the moment around this Roche pin, and immediately Toronto Tokyo heads towards bottom and cleans up that creep wave, while I don't think Tundra have the confidence to go for Roche anymore.
Bkop, I'm such an idiot, by the way. I'm like, man, Tundra have no damage, and they walk into Roche, and I'm like, man, they're going to kill it so quickly. Like,
It
What am I
happens.
talking about?
My matriarchal prize.
It's not even like this is the
give
fourth
him a
best of three.
smile.
It's not even like this is the fourth best of 3 of the day, Bkop. I'm just. I've only got 1 today. What's my excuse?
I'm looking for outs. I don't know. I'm not the analyst of your casting abilities.
Oh, mid lane.
Caught themselves collapse. This is a decent kill for Skitter if they can get it, but the Burrow Strike looking for the homie missile, 4 stacks of the Shadow Poison. This is
Yes,
backing
blink
them
and a
up
set.
potentially another RP.
Oh my-
Oh my god. Did they kill off Collapse just in time for having the homing missile to hit Yatoro, who's trying to go in for the RP?
They absolutely did. That was ridiculous.
Oh my god.
And now, without the Sand King, this Roche looks a lot easier. Even if it does take a while.
That was timing to a T. They have found Fada again, who's looking for a high 5 and hoping they do kill him to take the attention away from going into the Roche, and they get rid of the Aegis on Skitter. That was wow.
Yeah,
That play over mid was nuts.
That's a huge win for Tundra, though. Collapse, he almost had the blink up and available, but really well played by Snaking. He understood that, and with the Shadow Poisons, he let them go early to cancel the blink. So that the Sand King didn't have it available. And there's the BKB on the mag. We were talking about lack of damage on Tundra before. With the BKB.
They're
Naposhka,
coming up towards top. They want to go for this.
yeah, with the
They'll
ward, they
show
know something's
Skitter.
coming.
Now the question is, do Spirit respond? And I think with the Aegis, they don't want to exactly make their way in.
Never refuse gold.
I say that, but... And Yatoro starts to creep up towards top.
Under attack.
They're staying nearby where if they catch somebody out of position, they'll go. But I don't know if they're going to move anywhere past these steps that are in their jungle to make something happen.
Yeah,
They
they're just
lost
playing
their
around
vision near the lane. Yeah. They've got RP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Collapse
attack.
isn't nearby though. He's pushing out the wave. And with the ward dying, Team Spirit probably not going to feel too safe.
They're like right on the edge of where their vision is, and the second it's gone, they withdraw.
Yeah. All about playing around that vision, Bkop.
They won't even risk taking a step too far. Like you could see them. They're playing.
They
They had the vision by the camps. They're behind the trees, making sure nobody sees them. The second that vision's gone, retreat. The second the vision was gone by the lane, you know, move further back. Try to like draw them in even.
That Black Dragon can't kill the rune in time because it attacks so slowly with the animation. Really nice pickup by 3-3. As you can see in his quick buy, he's actually picking up a pipe, which in most games probably not that useful, but in this game in particular against like the Willow, the Sand King, the Void Spirit, has a huge amount of value. So liking that. And then we're going to definitely see the Axe queued up after, right, for the Fish Wolf. Please.
Hopefully.
Radiant's middle tower
We
is
keep
under
talking about
attack.
it, we never get to see them. Slark actually goes Axe before BKB. Wow. Okay. Maybe feeling a little bit more confident with the Aegis.
Dire are scanning.
Now 2 pounces.
Yeah, it helps you like dance in and out of the fights a little bit more. It does feel really good to have.
Lap's feeling comfortable enough to start slapping that tail down. Now, Pushka's just up here top by him. Well, not really by himself. Toronto Toki is nearby, but Pushka farming, and he's starting to get some net worth under his belt. Now they're going to look over. They've got the pounce. They've leashed up the Sand King. Collapse. It's under the call down, but they just don't feel confident going completely in for the fight. Slark caught. There's another pounce. Looking over at
Yules,
Mira, who
though.
does have that Yules. Looking for the Terrorize, but missed times.
Barter, though, by himself.
Radiant's top tower is
And
under
they have
attack.
found Fada once again. The question is, can they kill him? Another pounce from Skitter, and this is allowing Skitter to play a bit more aggressively. He almost gets caught, almost gets terrorized.
Yeah, really unfortunate. It's a difficult thing to time, right? Because he's going to dart back straight away.
Yeah.
So you need to try and time it as efficiently as possible. So Yeah, it looks
Almost really
stupid. but
impossible to land.
He's just trying to, push the limits as much as possible, and it just doesn't go the way they
Collapse
want
showing
it.
mid again, and now they've got the pounce. Tundra never really left.
Oh,
In the
grip?
Fiend's grip! He pounced, missed it because Collapse blinked back! They might be able to get the kill on a Skitter because of this! They at least take out the Aegis, they get the kill on a Fada!
are they gonna FP here?
Do they have the control? He'll go into the ulti, they're gonna try and keep up with him. They've whipped up Collapse,
Nice.
but the double pounce, he's got a little bit of range away, and Collapse's Burrow Strike is just a hair short. But man, that was close.
Does he have
Meanwhile,
Yules? He does.
bottom lane, they've got the Yules. The Aether Remnant lands on a 33. Yaturo's
RP
here.
available.
They'll use the RP, and with the skewer, with the damage, they'll have the kill to take out 3-3. 2 massive kills and an Aegis taken away by Team Spirit.
Bkop, are you sure this isn't a replay of game 1? Like, these punishes from Spirit to be able to take this Aegis. Tundra really struggling to find that way to just, like Theben was talking about on the panel, to just end the game, right? They get this really good Aegis advantage, but they can't really do anything with it.
Just he pounces, misses Collapse. I can't believe it. And that drew him to his death. Um, 1K lead now for Team Spirit. Top of the net worth is Yatoro, who's, like I said, going for that, or was going for that Daedalus. And he's switched off to buy the Silver Edge.
Yeah, it's such a great item at the moment. Just within Dota. I think it's never a bad choice.
Bottom lane.
Oh, he didn't jump again.
And Astral Step, TP attempt, but Snake King ready. As the disruption, they'll get the pounce, and Snake King will get the kill.
Yeah, big kill as well, because Toronto Tokyo's been like, it feels like he's been split pushing for like 10 minutes, right? He's been so annoying. So they finally punish him. I think if he'd have double jumped there, maybe he would have got away. I mean, it probably wouldn't have made a difference, but tried to hold on to it as long as he could. But with the more TPing bot here, this is going to be a free top tier 1 for Spirit.
Radiant structures are
It'll get them some
I say
gold
that.
and no glyph. So they're trying to hold it. They are trying to rotate. Blink Dagger was the purchase for Snaking. He had that and the Ags queued up at about 2,400 gold. So he decides to go for the Blink instead of the Ags. I know Collapse wants an Ags, and unfortunately Lycan does not. At least not yet. He's going Solar Crest. We desperately want to see him have that Ags. Ooh, quick nightmare from Maposhka. Burrow Strike comes in. Maposhka, he has Fiend's Grip. They're going to shapeshift. They're thinking about going onto the high ground. They've got the stun on Collapse.
Can they get anyone, though? It's so
I
awkward.
think it's a bit split up from Tundra to make that jump and to try and take this fight.
If the Ember can't just run in and slide chain somebody, their catch is so limited. Do they have 4 staffs on Spirit as well? What do the supports have?
They have a Yules on Mira and then an Aether Lens on Maposhka.
Because I feel like when those 4 staffs come out, the start of this game is going to be even more difficult, right? I'm assuming they're getting one on at least somebody.
There's the Shadow Blade for Yatoro and the Silver Edge finish. Okay. So he'll have Silver Edge next. Hitting for so much. Pounce, Diffusal into the Shadow Realm. Skitter playing aggressive once again. The Burrow Strike comes out, but the Dark Pact in time.
They tried to layer the Burrow Strike with the Bramble, with the Cursed Crown there, sorry. Just so they would have got the change stun, but doesn't quite work. Close game, though. I mean, last game it felt like Tundra were always in control, right, with this big net worth advantage, and
Right.
Dire are scanning.
I don't know, it's not feeling quite so good for Tundra this time. Oh, again, they managed to dodge the Burrow Strike.
And they're going to go in. They've got Snaking using that Demonic Purge. They have the damage going on to the Collapse, but do they have enough? He's stunned up for the moment. They get a kill on a Collapse. And coming around the back is going to be Skitter looking over, and Maposhka use that Fiend's Grip. They got the kill on a Collapse, but they end up losing 9, and now the Terrorize is out onto the Slark. So Slark Held still by the Brambles that were ready in the Terrorize. On the other side of this, Toronto Tokyo, he's in on Fada as well as Skitter. He's got the Astro Step, but he's going to be pounced up. Leashed up. RP coming in from Yatoro, and it's a big one.
Where's the damage, though?
Fada, but do they have the damage follow-up? They've got the Curse Crown on a 3-3. Pounce up from Skitter. The RP's there, but the damage isn't. And now they've got themselves a disruption coming up from Snake King. That'll lock down Toronto Tokyo, but he's got the Dissimulate, and he's got an Astro Step. Oh, the pounce almost catching Toronto Tokyo. And despite the fact that the RP was there, the damage was not. Almost a big turnaround for Team Spirit. Did in fact kill 9, but the turnaround from Tundra with buybacks from both supports scares off Spirit from going for even more.
Yeah, and this they managed to kill Collapse, but they have to drop so many spells on him. Like, they use the Purge and everything. It stops the Yours from coming through to save himself. But as soon as the grip goes on the Ember, the rest of Spirit are fine. Like, they kill the Ember and they all just retreat. They get the double buyback from Tundra, and especially with the Roche spawning here, this is a huge fight where these supports aren't going to have buyback.
We're looking for it. Looking to see if Roche shows up. They'll leave some Wolves and, well as the Ancient Granite Golem. And Roche is up.
I think you force it if you're Tundra.
Ooh. Skitter goes Shard before the BKB.
Okay, I mean, the Shard's so good, though. With the
Depth
with
Shroud
the save.
now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I can respect that. Because the thing is, right, like, if they RP, right, you can just run in with the Shroud.
Which is currently down for 28 seconds. No RP available, and this might be the timing for Tundra to go in and get themselves roached. Team Spirit a lot more postured on this one than the last one, and we'll see how quickly, if at all, Tundra get it, if they're going to go right into the pit. But right now, they've smoked up. They're wrapping around, potentially looking for a pick-off to go for Roche, and a lot of smoke breaks. They've got the Bramble Maze. They'll go into the Shadow Realm and try to leave Skitter. He's the one on the front line of this. Right clicks onto an illusion. Aether Remnant comes through, doesn't land on anybody, and they're going to Nightmare up the Granite Golem. Blink, Horn Toss, Cure on a 33, and now they've got him in the Sandstorm. They're going to jump in and get the Silence out of the Snake King, so there is no disruption save, but they don't have the damage to get the kill on a 33. They're going to pop the BKB as the Pounce leashes up Yatoro. Going to the other side, Toronto Tokyo, he gets low. 9 gets the kill there with the BKB running out from this Magnus. I don't think they can contest this anymore. The question is, does Tundra go right for Roche, or they continue to get pickoffs here in the mid lane? They're going to look over here onto this Dark Willow. There's the Remnant forward. They've got the Pounce leashing up the Dark Willow once again for the Burst Strike as well as the Epicenter. They've got themselves some damage onto the Stark, but it's not going to be nearly enough. Fada going into the front lines of this one, throwing a homing missile on a Maposhka. Collapse on the run. The BKB's been popped by 9. The Bramble Mace is not going to lock anybody up. He's looking for a high 5. And well, the Burrow Strike now onto 9, but they don't have a Fiend's Grip. They only have a Nightmare. They've got Yatoro moving forward. He does have the RP available to him. There's the Blink as well as the Horn Toss. Secure up onto the high ground. Snake King, he is looking to help out, looking to have that save. He's got the disruption. There's the Pounce as well as the leech to get the Kona Collapse. They look over Yatoro, and now the damage coming out of the Magnus. He's
no detection.
Silver Edge, and they don't have the detection to get the kill on the mag. 3 stacks of the Shadow Poison isn't enough to finish off Yatoro. Now they've got the sweep. The disruption comes in from Snake King. That'll keep the Slark safe, but it's not like he was in danger once the rest of Spirit backed off. And on to Roche, Tundra should go.
Is under attack.
That fight could have been so much worse for Spirit, honestly. I mean, they used the grip, but he cast Dark Pack just before. So it basically just gets wasted, right? They can't find the opening for the RP, but really good target selection by Tundra. They managed to blow up Toronto Tokyo straight away. We've talked about their problems with catch and potentially damage as well. So to be able to like bring down one hero as quickly as that was so impressive.
They're going to get the Aegis into the hands of Skitter once again. And that has been plenty of Agi, or Ajaxin, for Tundra, but we're yet to really see them use these Aegis claims for a lot. Each time they've had the Aegis, it's been blown out of their hands pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's just been that pick-off from Skitter, right, where the Aegis gets wasted. But looks like Tundra here, they're just looking to group up. Not so easy to punish him like this.
Dire's top tower has
He went Basher before BKB as well on the Slark. He's like, well, I got another Aegis now, so I still don't need BKB.
Hold up on that.
I can afford to be a little bit more greedy again.
Smoke from Tundra looking to keep the pressure on. They've taken a net worth lead overall finally. They've got on a gold here on the Slark as well as the Lycan. 9 a little bit lacking, but he has come back despite that disruption in his game. He had a great start, got slowed down, and now he's caught up to Toronto Tokyo. Was caught in that last fight. Skitter coming around, looking over at Mira, who's into the Shadow Realm, but Pounce leashed up, and now throws the Bramble Maze down. Cursed Crown, but the Dark Pact is there. They've got the second leash with the Pounce, and now Soda Fist Searing Chains. The damage is out from Skitter to get the kill onto this Dark Willow.
Okay, Tora needs to run here.
Oh, BKB, and there's the TP.
I'm a post. Please don't find me, sir. I mean, you can see that Spirit are starting to have Slark issues, though, right? I mean, this hero becoming a big issue now. Skitter's able to play so aggressive, especially with the Aegis.
That's what's cost him in the past, is playing this aggressively. This time, though, he just has the team around him. He's got a lot more protection than in the past. Oh, trying to kill
a Philosopher's Stone.
Is that Courier.
No, he doesn't. Oh, grip it,
Yeah.
grip it.
Dire's
Okay.
middle tower.
Got the bullwhip. He still can't catch up.
Radiant's top tower.
You gotta
is
grip
under
that courier, dude.
Always worth.
And they're gonna push into the high ground here. Spirit aren't really ready for this. They don't take buildings particularly quickly on Tundra, but if you don't come and react...
Ooh, Pounce deep in the base. Skitter going in. He's already taken half health and damage. He's silenced up. They're going to remnant forward, trying to help out. They're not going to jump in just
Oh
yet.
my
They're going to the
goodness.
Shadow Realm. Skitter doesn't get it off the high ground, though. They're looking for the Terrorize for a second. They'll stop it. Now they've got the Sun out on a collapse. Terrorize lands onto 2. Skitter standing forward. They've got the sweep out on a collapse, so he's going to stay alive for a second longer. The Aether Remnant looking to lock down anybody that makes the jump out of the collapse, and now he's going to pounce down to the low ground. They go for the tier 3.
Here comes the
They're going
Zoo,
to try
though.
and get this. They don't have the Terrorize available to them anymore. They do have Bedlam, but if you can't get him for that damage, it's really not of much use. You've got Toronto Tokyo trying to use this axe to get the silence and push them away, and they get the tier 3. That's it for right now. While this whole time, Yatoro is over in the top lane, and they're going to TP. They want to get this Magnus.
They have Dust on the Shadow Demon here as well.
Silver Edge senses
Yatoro
them
knows.
looking.
Radiant
Oh, 9 might know! 9 might know! Oh, I thought he was going to throw a slide out. They were looking like they were going to get close, and potentially he was going to get the stop.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised he didn't beat him ETP. That was ballsy. I thought he was going to be like extra safe. Almost Bloodthorn, by the way, on the mag. I'm pretty sure that is. That he has queued up.
Double damage.
So lots of damage potentially coming in here.
I'll take
Yeah.
that.
Question is, who are they going to focus on?
Is Lycan going Ags, by the way? Please tell me they're getting Fishwolf.
He is not.
Oh, man. So disappointing.
He's almost got the gold 4 Ags if he does change his mind, though.
Nah,
Maybe
he's
he
definitely
does.
going to go Hex. Against the Void Spirit, I think it's really good as well. That's the good thing about this Lycan, right? You get this, like, core item of, like, Hell with the Overlord drums, and then you can kind of go whatever you want, depending on what the game needs.
Well, there's the Bloodthorn picked up. Flicker will be found here for 100.
Big item this game against the Willow in particular, that Flicker.
Mm-hmm. They're smoked up. They're trying to make a move here. Remnant forward. Now the Burrow Strike. That's going to land on a 9. They've caught him, and now they've got the Fiend's Grip with the Silver Edge and the damage coming out from the Bloodthorn. They'll get the kill onto 9. He's not the Aegis carrier, but that is a big kill for them to get. They're trying to catch up to Snake King. He's got that shard, so they
got
have
him.
to catch up with the Dissimulate. The Burrow Strike lands from Collapse. Skater coming over to protect his support. There's the Pounce. It will leash up onto this Void Spirit. Toronto Tokyo throws an Aether Remnant out. They've got the Burrow Strike.
Oh
Skater,
my goodness.
Right as the Aegis times out, again there is that timing, and this time it's for Spirit.
Now Snake King's in trouble as well.
Oh dear, they've caught him. The Bedlam damage is their solo target. They will take out the Shadow Demon Spirit. They find the timing, and they will take out these heroes on Tundra.
Timeless relic for the Dire side as
dear.
well. Oh my god. I mean, it's kind of unfortunate for Tundra, right? But they're so like half committed to that fight. It felt like they weren't really sure if they wanted to go in or not. Skit has been so like good at avoiding like spells and everything this game, but you can see all it takes is one good spell usage from Spirit, and they can kill him, right? But he's just by himself. I don't. It's so bizarre. I think with the 9 death rate, just
It starts
really
with that, yeah.
like they don't need to take the risk, surely.
This all of a sudden puts a 5,000 net worth lead into the hands of Spirit.
That Bloodthorn, by the way, looks absolutely ridiculous. It was so strong. And I know it costs a lot of gold, so you'd kind of expect it, right? But the amount of damage output there with the Bloodthorn.
God,
Madness.
I want money.
Spell Prism picked up for the Ember, so maybe 9. Doing a bit more tough. Octarine Core for Collapse, too.
Does Skitter have BKB yet? That's what we really need to look out for on the Slark.
Almost. Is he
like
going to disassemble the Echo Saber?
I think so. He's put it off for so long. This guy, it's like 40 minutes into the game. He still doesn't have BKB on the Slark. And you could say, yeah, maybe it's a mistake. But, I mean, in these late game scenarios, when you have the 9-second BKB duration instead of 6 seconds, it can make a big difference. So if you're able to get away with not buying it until the late game, it can work wonders.
He has disassembled, so he'll go back for the Echo Saber, as now he's picked up this BKB.
Trickster's Cloak, a good item this game. But maybe not so much against the Bloodthorn, I guess?
Collapse standing on the edge of this, and they're going to spot him, but they've got the skewer back on Mofarah. Now Skitter's going to come in. The Terror's going to be thrown forward, but they get the stun onto the Magnus. Now Fiend's confused onto 9. Terrorize are going to follow it up. They've got the Burrow Strike, and now you pop the BKB. Sight of Fist, and just pop. Maposh go low. Skitter's got the BKB, and now he's going to finally fight into this. Pounce, right clicks, bashes coming through. Aniataro, who's got the RP, thinks about throwing it, skewers out of the fight. Mira comes back in, and now stunned up, killed off, and down will go the Dark Willow. They're going to remnant forward, trying to catch this Magnus, and they spot him. They've got the Searing Chains, but the break comes out for the Silver Edge. They've also got the Bloodthorn onto this Ember. They'll use the RP, and they won't get anything for it. They end up losing 9, though. Toronto Tokyo gets the kill.
Skitter's so low.
Uh-oh, Burrow Strike, Skitter caught once again. He'll end up dead with no buyback. Yules, that hits Snake King. They've got the control on both these heroes. The Burrow Strike from Collapse hits them both. They
Mira's
get the
back
kill on
again.
Snake King. Mira back into it one more time. He's got the Terrorize. He's going to look to potentially get that Bedlam kill. They'll take out 3-3. Mira gets credit for that. And now Collapse is right on top of Fada. Going to be a back-to-back team wipe here for Team Spirit, potentially. They'll get the Burrow Strike. They'll find themselves the damage to take out Fada and finish off this team wipe.
I think they really overestimate on Tundra how easy it is for them to kill people. Like, they find the mag, which is awesome, right? But they have to commit so far for it. And the rest of the cast can't keep up with the Ember and the Slark. It takes them so long to come and help because they don't have this huge jump that the those two cores do. My goodness, and Roche is up soon as well. Like, this could be a big win for Spirit if they're able to pick up that next Aegis.
Yeah, Spirit really hoping to get their hands onto an Aegis in this game. First 2 have gone to Tundra, and this might be, what, Refresher Shard or the Ag's Blessing.
Yeah, this Void Spirit is absolutely destroying this game, by the way. Like, with the Timeless Relic on the level 25 as well, his, utility in these fights and control, the amount of damage he can output as well is... It's so difficult for, Tundra to lock him down and deal with him. In this late game scenario... Roche up now.
Skitter, Pounce, Leash, first hit bash onto Toronto Tokyo. They might be able to get the kill onto the Void Spirit. They're looking over as the silence is out onto Skitter. Skitter hit with the Burrow Strike Collapse. He's in pretty far. Looking, slaps that tail down. They've got the dust. They're going to continue to move with this Sand King. Pounce from Skitter is well off to the left. They have the disruption. They'll have the control. The BKB gets popped here. Looking for the Burrow Strike. Makes an escape. So he's hexed up for the moment. The Pounce is going to break this gap down, and they'll look to get the kill to Collapse, but they've got themselves the Cursed Crown. Another Burrow Strike coming out for Collapse, and the remnant forward from 9. Looking to get the kill. Finally does with the Sleight of Fist. They'll pick up the gem. Big
no buyback
here for Mira to try and get out, but they don't have the buyback available on the Sand King anymore. They'll send the Wolves forward. That has Cursed Crown on it, so that'll stop them from chasing Mira. But as that fight happens, as they get the kill into the Sand King, Roche is up. Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard.
Oh, Fata now as well.
Ooh, Fada.
1 in 3. Toronto Tokyo gets the lottery win. I'm really surprised Spirit were pushing so far up in the lanes though when they knew Roche was going to be spawning. You do have to, be really careful in these late game scenarios. One death can really make the difference.
Certainly so.
50 seconds for collapse still.
Long time, 27 for Fada. This time, though, without the Sand King, Tundra don't go into Roche. Double damage over bottom, and they've smoked up. They're going to move forward, but there's the Yules once again. Dark Pact into the Aether Remnant, so they have a little bit of control here on a Skitter, but no follow-up just yet. You can see that Magnus is bottom.
That Remnant lasts so long with the Timeless Relic. With the pull duration. It's crazy. Collapse up in 20 seconds as well here, so Tundra can't even just walk into the pit. Spirit not been punished at all for his death. Is that satanic? Oh, he's overwhelming Blink, okay.
Blink, or pounce on the Toronto Tokyo. Terrorize being charged up with the BKB pop. That's going to terrorize and hit onto the Sark. They're trying to get Toronto Tokyo away, but they just can't. 9 will get credit for that kill. And now without Toronto Tokyo, that's big for Tundra to get this Roche potentially again.
He has buyback, but can you see how much work that Hex is doing from the Lycan though as well? They almost got
Ags now.
Yeah, they almost got Toronto Tokyo before, but the fact they get him...
RP! It's on a Skitter! It's on a 3-3! But he goes immediately
the Depth Shroud, though.
To the Depth Shroud, and now he'll try to get this kill and turn this fight around. Skitter going over and trying to get the kill on Toronto Tokyo, who just fought back and comes into the outpost. Now they've got the Fiend's Grip. Maposhka standing still, holding his ground for the moment. They get the kill to Skitter. They'll take out this Sark. He's going to buy back immediately with the end. This being popped here on a 9, but he's silenced by the Bloodthorn. Oh, into the Sandstorm. Remnant forward, going after Yatoro. He'll just survive. He's on the run. 9 gets caught, and he's alive thanks to the disruption, but the Aether Remnant is there. Burlster comes in from collapse. They get the kill on a 9. Toronto Tokyo gets a little bit of revenge. Snake King, 3-3, Skitter, all here looking to make something happen, but Burlster comes in from collapse. He'll be hexed up. They get the kill on a Snake King.
Has to be careful,
the Shadow Demon. He's going to buy back 9, bought back as well. So Skitter, he moves over. Now Yatoro comes in with the overwhelming blink. They look over at 3-3. They've got the battle right on top of the lake, and they get the kill on a 3-3, and he'll buy back 2. Burrow Strike hitting Skitter. Curse Crown, Purge off thanks to the Dark Pact. They get the kill on 9 to take out this Ember, and he's there for 2 minutes. But the right click's coming in from Skitter. That's going to finish off Maposhka. He has buyback available, and now Collapse doesn't spot Skitter, who's invis for the moment. And now Burrow Strike Collapse. He gets spotted. Snake King's here. They've got the dust right on him, ready to go. They'll get the pounce, and now Mira coming over with the help of 3-3-3 goes into the shapeshift. They've got the Hex coming into the Snake King, but now all that is assimilate the damage on a 3-3. They've got the save from Snake King once more. But Skitter, he's right now in the Depth Shroud once again. They get the kill on a 3-3. He's going to be dead for 100 seconds. They've got the silence on a Skitter. He bought back. He's going to be dead one more time for 2 minutes, and Tundra throw it all away. Team Spirit having 23,000 net worth lead.
He's still going, man. This guy's relentless.
Snake King.
They're gonna get him.
They don't find him, but the Astro Step, now they've got the silence thanks to Toronto Tokyo. Toronto Tokyo using that Resonant Pulse. He's got the Ags upgrade. They'll throw the Burrow Strike out. Now they're looking for the battle, and they have the damage coming in from Mira. Toronto Tokyo now dominating. 4 heroes down on the side of Tundra, and this might be all she wrote here for the side of Tundra in this tournament as Team Spirit are looking to finish off the 2-0, and there are no buybacks ready for Tundra at all.
Collapse is absolutely ridiculous. How does this guy do it again and again and again?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
No buybacks. I mean, this is it.
Astro step forward. Fada's the only one who can try and hold. He walks forward out of the base for just a second. They'll get the kill, taking him out. GG will be called. Team Spirit lock in the 2-0. They lock in their grand final spot, and they have dominated Tundra and kicked them out of the tournament.
This, I would argue, has probably been the best series the whole tournament so far, right?
Yeah.
And we only have the final left. And I would argue probably one of the best team performances I've seen in a long time from Spirit. Like, this game was unbelievable. There's so much back and forth, people getting picked off and all sorts, but there's so many different ways for Spirit in fights to be able to pick people off, right? And you could see that was the difference between the two teams, where Tundra, they were diving so far to try and find these kills, but it was so easy for Spirit to turn around and try and, like, turn the fight around because the amount of catch they had, the amount of spell... I mean, their spell usage was unbelievable.
Yeah, it really was. It looked so close. Like, Tundra certainly had their opportunities, but again, I think getting a little bit over-eager at times and extending these fights a little bit too far out of their availability to win fights. I think if we had, like, live percentages of fight wins, which I know is such a ridiculous technology to ask for, but, like, it would start to fade in Spirit's favor as these fights kind of went longer and longer and longer, especially in that last one. You saw it. Like, Spirit just dominated there.
The worst thing about this game was we didn't even get to see Fishwolf, so what's the point? Get it to the panel. I don't care anymore. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll throw it over the panel. Take it away, guys. No Fishwolf.
My goodness, Team Spirit do it again. Another 2-0 for the CIS Bad Boys. I mean, they are just absolutely destroying this lower bracket. They're like the Sharks, and anyone that goes overboard just gets eaten up. But what an impressive game from them. I mean, Theban, what are the highlights for you of this game number 2?
There was a lot. I mean, Team Spirit, I think these guys are on a crazy roll right now, starting with the Fnatic series, and it just feels like they always keep turning things around. And the main reason for that is because they're so patient with every single play, right? They, like, whenever it's a horrible fight, they're getting out, they're always baiting their allies. You know, you see Miposhka in this game, how many amazing fiend grips he's got off, and to be able to do that and not be getting picked off by a Slark or an Ember Spirit throughout the entire game, like, this guy's positioning was absolutely insane. I think the biggest play for me that was really awkward from Tundra was like at around 38 minutes or so, when they had Aegis. 9 gets like randomly picked off in the top lane, and the Aegis is about to expire, and Slark is like jumping in there, and he dies. I think up until that point, the game was completely even, maybe even slightly Tundra favored. But then Team Spirit, they were able to just take advantage of like these small mistakes and just keep going. I mean, they didn't make that many mistakes of their own, and that's the name of the game. You know, who makes the least amount of mistakes normally wins the game, especially in even drafts like this.
I mean, that was just an absolute, like, I don't know what's going on with Team Spirit today, but these guys are owning. Lizard, you're looking around, you know, your eyes are darting. What's on your mind, bro?
Nothing. I was just waiting for you to fill into that gap. But Team Spirit, they're playing insanely well. Everything that Teban has said and stated already. Miposhka, today, I was questioning whether or not this Bane is going to get banned out. And I said, yeah, you can't really ban a Bane. But as your first 2 bans, right? This guy deserves it. Waiting for BKBs before they're popped so that you can grip without worrying that Shadow Demon is going to save someone. That's just
so
yeah,
smart.
It's just on point. He was playing really well. For me, Tundra did feel a little bit tilted overall throughout the game. Like, even in these last couple of fights, the buybacks, like, you're buying back, you don't have access to the shrine. You're running back from one side to the other. It's a bit difficult to rejoin the fights, but Team Spirit, they're just outplaying every single team fight. For me, it comes down to that. At least later on, when they get all the items that are necessary for them, they just start outplaying. They just play around you so well. They cast all their spells properly. Even, like, look at this last fight. Guys, after Skitter uses the cloud to save him, and I don't know, someone else was in the RP. Did you think that the fight was going to end the way it ended? In my mind, it's not. Like, okay, he just saved them from the RP. This is it. They're taking the fight, and then they still don't manage to do anything. One thing that Tundra's drafts do have, like, a line that connects them throughout the last 4 games that I watched. They all have these, like, 3 cores and offlane Lycan that don't really give you how Teban calls it, that anchor in team fights, right? Like, you don't have one big thing to play around. You're 5 individuals fighting it off. You do have some spells that help each other out, but they don't synergize as well as Team Spirit, with Magnus, RP, then Collapse stunning on top of that, then Mira using Terrorize on top of that, then Epicenter. There's just layers of different things that synergize on side of Team Spirit. Meanwhile, in Tundra, I don't see that.
I kind of feel like when you do let go of that anchor, you know, when you go for something like this Lycan, the game inevitably descends into this kind of chaotic state where the fights are lasting half the map because Tundra don't really have a way to catch people and bring them down that easily, and everyone's got so much save that, like, the fights are going on a long, long time. You would expect the Slark to be having a great time on that, but actually, like, he's getting really frustrated because he can't catch the Sand King, he can't catch the Magnus, he can't catch the Void Spirit. They keep juking and jiving and just causing him so many problems, and by the time he thinks he's caught a kill, they turn around and murder him. Like, a very, very frustrating game from Skitter. You know, he had all this farm, he'd done really well in the game pretty much throughout until like the last couple of fights, but then the actual big fights that mattered, there was just no one there to jump in and give him that Ravage, give him that Burrow Strike, give him that RP. You know, nothing like that coming through for him. It felt like he was fighting alone, and that was really sad to witness, I feel. But, you know, that said, Tundra, we haven't had cause to doubt them previously, but these past two series have been kind of worrying because in their series versus LGD, they did their crazy, crazy drafts, you know, with the Oracle mid, messing around, very experimental because they're in that upper bracket. That didn't go well. And now in this series versus Spirit, they tried to be, you know, it definitely felt like this was a try-hard draft. You know, they're just picking heroes which are popular in the meta and heroes which they're very comfortable with. And again, doesn't work out. And now they end up dropping out of this tournament. You know, it's still a great result from them. Don't get me wrong. You know, third place is fantastic for this team. But it does have to be a little bit concerning just getting the double 2-0s. That can't feel good for anyone.
Yeah, I will say that whatever they were drafting now, especially because all eyes were on them after ESL, right? So people kind of figured out, okay, where these heroes are going. If you looked at them from, 2 weeks back, they picked Gyrocopter, you're thinking, oh, it's going to be like a position 1 Gyrocopter. But now you know that's always going to be like the 5, 90% of the time. That being said, though, Tundra, today, I think they heavily underperformed, especially Fada and 9. You saw in this game how many times they get picked off by like a Magnus, Skewer play or something, or 9 just like walk into a lane, trying to farm some waves, getting Fiend's Grip. That shouldn't be happening, right? And that kind of made it harder for Skitter to actually play the game because someone was always dead at some point in the game. Even though they got the first 2 Roshans, it didn't really matter.
It's a great point. And do you feel like Fata was kind of, I don't know, like there are a few deaths where I was like, this is a great death. You know, he got them Roshan, he stopped them contesting, but occasionally, like, he'd just be kind of farming the mid lane and he was like, oh, here I go again, getting horn tossed, skewered back, and just dying. Like, do you think Fada needs to play a bit more carefully or something?
Maybe. Continue, please.
I was gonna say, like, I think that has something to do with the captain slot, right? Where like you are thinking so much about the game and commanding your team in so many different ways that sometimes you forget about your own positioning and where you should be on the map or what's happening next. And then when that happens and like you just gave your team an idea, then you die, it like completely ruins your game. And it actually puts you on tilt in most of the situations.
Could be a little bit of complacency after finishing first in the ESL tournament as well, right? You're not doing it on purpose, it just gets to you. When you're winning, when you're a champion, everyone looks at you, you also everyone analyzes you. At the same time, you become a little bit more relaxed, and it leads to situations such as these ones. But for me, I would rather, I would just switch these things up in which you have, obviously it worked for them, they had a lot of crazy drafts, but drafts in which you have this Gyro 5 and Lycan offlane, for me, are just inherently flawed. It's very difficult to execute them. They still did extremely well, but just on the other side, you have this Bane. You say, okay, he's captain, Poshka is a captain as well, and he's still performing, he's still using, you can still see impact of that hero later on. Gyro brings some impact, but not nearly as game-changing as a Bane can later on in the game, right? And very similar thing with this Lycan, who completely dominates, stomps early on, but if you don't close that game out after first Roshan has been taken, for me it feels like it falls off harder and harder. It's a very steep decline.
Yeah, absolutely.
In comparison to what Team Spirit was doing.
Yeah, there was a huge gap in performance there. It's got to be said. And yeah, I mean, one more shout out, of course, to my boy Collapse, having an absolute blinder of a tournament. You know, even though LGD are doing extremely well, Collapse is so far the tournament MVP, I have to say. I mean, that guy has just been fighting like an absolute madman, you know, in this game as well. Like, to kill this guy, it cost them so much. Like, they pounce on him, and then he gets away, and then they pounce him again. They catch him. They're running all half the map to try and find him. Meanwhile, you know, they've managed to find some pickoffs on the supports whilst they're running across the map to kill this guy. I mean, it happened with several heroes, but Collapse is definitely the most notable example of that for me. And yeah, a fantastic performance him. But overall, that's going to end up the series 2-0 for Team Spirit. No one could have predicted that one. But wow, what a turnout for this team as they continue their momentum, destroy every team in the lower bracket. They are now done with the lower bracket, but they are on to the grand finals, and we will be saying commiserations and goodbye to Tundra. A good attempt. They will land themselves third place and $32,000. Not bad pickings for them. But now we come through to our grand final matchup tomorrow. That big best of 5. The winning team will be taking home the grand prize of $114,000 and obviously the title of being crowned the best team in the tournament, which is no small feat when 8 of the best teams from around the world have gathered to fight it out in this one. Who is going to take it home? Will Team Spirit continue their momentum, or will LGD continue their dominance? Guys, well, what do we think? Just very quick preview of tomorrow before we close it out. Theban, firstly.
Sorry, but LGD is on a whole nother level. Like, Team Spirit, you know, all the teams that they beat so far, they're top tier caliber teams, and I'm so impressed with these guys. I think they're gonna give LGD a run for their money, but LGD, man, they're like 2-3 levels ahead of everybody else. Maybe Team Spirit might be able to take a game or two off, but I think LGD is most likely going to take this one.
Yeah, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to go against LGD, but I have to. Slav boys stick together. Easy, full Davai Dota. I can see it. If they continue, I mean, they're on a really good run. If they continue with this momentum, if they carry it over into the grand finals, it's gonna be hard. No matter what.
I will say one more thing. If tomorrow they're going to win, it's going to come down to Toronto, Tokyo. I know Collapse has been owning, Toro has been owning, but Toronto, Tokyo is going to be the key player for tomorrow because he's up against Zhao, and I think Toronto, Tokyo has insane amount of individual skill. Maybe he can win some matchups that he normally shouldn't and might be able to turn the game around because of that. But yeah, like the thing that impressed me most about Team Spirit is their individual skills and how they play like a team. Freaking amazing.
So good. Such good team fighting from them as well. And I feel like them and LGD, they're so similar in the way they've been playing this tournament. Like such crazy run at you, aggressive Dota mixed with, you know, when they're behind, they never let you get an easy win. And I think that's the biggest thing between both of these teams that they share is that whenever they're behind, they will always be looking for any small crack in that window to shove their heads through and come back into the game. And playing like that, it's just too hot for some people. It's too hot for Tundra today, and it's going to be hot tomorrow as we have that best of 5 coming up. So join us tomorrow for the grand finals of the OGA Dota Pit Season 5 Invitational. From today, we are all done, so we'll be saying goodbye, and we'll see you tomorrow.